But it is weird you would send out a graphic and everybody's looking.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of good players behind them.
I do feel like Baker Mayfield is very close. We were so close.
No, that's what I was noticing. I was like, okay, well, who do we have on the front line here? Well, we've got
Cam
Ward, Sam Darnold, Drake May, Malik Neighbors from the Giants, and Baker Mayfield.
Yep. And
I was trying to make sense of it.
is that a Dolphin, number 12 or 42?
No. That's Travis Hunter from the
Jaguars.
Yeah, from the Jags.
Yeah, but
those
two are further out front than that next line.
Oh, there's no doubt. They are the front two. I mean, it's as if you built this knowing how the playoffs turned out, and you didn't just necessarily stack them up by the way they finished, but you've still got the two AFC and NFC champion out front.
But Forrester, you build graphics. The guys in the front who are bigger, those are the ones that you expect people to pay attention to. Those are the real stars, right?
Yeah, Saquon's obviously the main focal point of this thing.
Pull it back out to the original size graphic.
I mean, again, you got Patrick Mahomes as the biggest star in the league, and he's in basically one of the most prominent positions because, to your point, you're paying more attention to the guys. Well, you should be paying more attention to the guys closest to you.
And what was that first Thursday night game? It was Barkley and Philadelphia, obviously. Who'd they play? I forget.
I'd have to go back.
It was Dallas, was it? Yeah, I played Dallas.
Eagles in Dallas was that Thursday night game.
Yeah, there's Dak, not too far in the crowd. Just thought that was a weird graphic.
It is, and when there's the conspiracy that the league is scripted, when the preseason graphic shows the two Super Bowl quarterbacks basically in the front of the line, it does pour fuel on the fire of the league being scripted.
Boy, and
I just don't know why you would script it for Seattle. Does that make any sense to you? I can understand scripting it for New England. What's the purpose of scripting it for Seattle?
I don't even give the time of day on thinking about
but when you start thinking about it, trust me, if the NFL could pick, they would much rather have the LA viewing market having a team in this thing.
Rams New England would have been a better draw.
Yeah. I mean, Seattle's the better team. I'm fine with Seattle being in there. I'm just saying if you're looking to build a TV draw, they would much rather have the Rams than Seattle. And the only reason you would script something is for a TV draw to make money.
A $1 million bet at Circa in Vegas. Patriots on the money line. A $1 million bet plus 188. He would win $3.2 million if the bet hits. That's a lot of risk. I mean, if I've got $1 million, am I risking $1 million just to make $2.2 million?
Now, this is where if Lance were here, and if you'll bring this back up tomorrow, he can explain to us how you would bet just to conserve your $1 million. So I guess you bet $1 million on the money line of the Seahawks to win, right? So you're at least guaranteed $1 million. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you've got $1 million riding on the Patriots having to win outright, and that wins you $3 million. If you turn around and put another $1 million on the money, I'm thinking this is the way you would do it, another $1 million on the money line of Seattle to win, that guarantees you at least get your $1 million back. Or
actually, you'd lose a little.
But enough that it's worth the risk. Or you get New England winning, and now you've netted, instead of 2.2, you've netted 1.2. That's still a pretty good payday.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and Forster's big into uniforms. There's no way the NFL can give us the best.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Live show now. LT back from Seattle. We'll talk Super Bowl and NFL storylines and what everybody on every screen's talking about, the snub of Bill Belichick as a Hall of Famer. We'll give you our reaction coming up on the show as well. A lot of college football to get to, including some more moving parts. But it lasted. My prediction on Charles Bediako not being in the starting lineup lasted less than about 7 hours, I guess. When we left here yesterday, it was noon, and it was 7 p.m. tip, and he's in the starting lineup. I didn't think he would start all year. I thought he'd come off the bench all year. He didn't start one game back. Second game back, he's in the starting lineup.
Alabama sent the starter graphic out, and I was like, dang, Dunaway.
Yeah.
Dunaway was wrong pretty quick on this one.
I mean,
but I think Oates had said, hey, we're going to try to negate the length of guys like Mark Mitchell by, not only starting Terrell, but having Bediako in that starting lineup. And I don't know, there was foul trouble, but he only played. What did Bediako end up logging?
That was
18 minutes.
18 minutes, which is down from his 25 because Sherrell didn't get as much foul trouble as he did. They're going to. Nate said last night they play Florida at noon on ABC Sunday. Make a note of that, not a Saturday but a Sunday game. He's talking about Bediako and Sherrell being out there together, hopefully for most of that game to battle the bigs of Florida.
I still think, and our buddy Clarence, who handles everything in our building, huge Alabama basketball fan, said the same thing to me today. He had seen us talk about it on the show yesterday. I still think their desired lineup, and this is just me talking. Nate Oates has coached a few more games than me. I still think their desired lineup is Philon, Holloway, Allen, Sherrell, Bediako. I'm not surprised. Now, look, some of it's going to be dictated by, the other team, right?
Right.
Or the situations you're in, Lance. But to me, I'm not surprised if that's their most productive lineup. Philon, Holloway, Allen, Sherrell, Bediako.
Yeah.
Yeah. My point yesterday was, my concern was because of the weakness inside. The reason you needed Bediako and the court case was because after Sherrell, you're really struggling with a big guy inside. And if you ever have both of them on the floor at the same time, they've got to, get breathers, but also there's the potential of foul trouble. And then all of a sudden, now you're weak on the inside again. So that's why I thought you would
I see
never.
what you're saying. Yeah.
That's why I thought it would be a rarity to see him on the court at the same time. But my goodness, he starts last night. And Alabama demolishes us, don't lose the final score. They kill Missouri 90-64. And it was a lot more than the inside game. They were 15 of 39 from three. And Latrell Wrightsell hit 7 threes last night. Boy, if you get that Wrightsell every night, you'd be pretty good.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I didn't have it starting 2 minutes ago, by
21 points in 29 minutes, 7 threes, 7 of 10. I mean, that's, basically half the threes they made last night. Alabama 15 of 39 from deep, and Latrell 7 of 10. And on the other side, Missouri was awful. Couldn't throw in the ocean.
Couldn't throw in the
21.
Ocean. Let's hear some Nate Oates postgame last night. Go cut two first, Tyler, if you will. Because Alabama gets the win. Now they play the challenge of Florida down in Gainesville where Auburn just won. Hard to imagine that team dropping 2 in a row at home. But Alabama will try to do that coming up Sunday at 12 noon. Here's Nate Oates on the game Latrell Wrightsell had last night.
Based on the night, it looks like he's back. Just keep our fingers crossed and hope he can stay injury-free because this is a career high in threes made. I mean, that first year with us, he had the number 4 offensive rating in the country on Ken Palm due to his efficiency. So, I thought he was significantly more efficient. He took 7 of 10 from 3, and he had 1 at the rim I thought he easily could have made. So, for whatever reason, he's shooting a lot more of the non-rim twos, and his efficiency's gone down a little bit this year. I think part of that's the ball hasn't been moving as much. We haven't been playing off stops because our defense hasn't been maybe as good as it needs to be, and we're not getting in the flow like we need to. So, I'm happy for him. I think this is what we need out of him, what he's capable of, and not that he's going to go 7 of 10 every night, but he's going to be the threat to go 7 of 10 every night, which is big.
one of those threes, talking about ball movement, started in the far corner, and it touched 4 players' hands. Holloway and Millett passed up open threes to push it to the next guy, and Millett was the last guy who bounced it over to Latrell, who drained a 3. That's the kind of ball movement Alabama needs on the perimeter. They can't shoot like that every night, probably.
Boy, they're going to need it Sunday, though, because I don't really see a path to victory without them obviously hitting a lot of perimeter shots.
I said that when Auburn was going in there last weekend, too. Yeah. Auburn went in there and spanked them.
Yeah.
I really didn't. I think I told Steven when he was on the show. I had already put that one in the loss column for Auburn.
You told him that. You told him you had already counted that as an L.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm already counting it for an L for Alabama, but something's missing on this Florida team. It's the perimeter. We've talked about it a couple of times, is not the same. And
well, I mean, look,
if you go in and shoot like you did last night and get a little inside game on defense, because Auburn shut down Condon, kept him.
Well, Condon had 1 point.
1 point.
What did we say? 32 minutes, I think it was. But Alabama's got the better backcourt in that game. I mean, rarely do you play
not even close.
A Florida team where it's that big of a gap in the backcourt. I mean, Alabama's backcourt is significantly better than Florida's.
But I think even with the addition of Bediako, I mean, you look at the difference in the front court there.
Yeah, that's where Florida definitely has the advantage.
Yeah. I don't know if Alabama can do to them what Auburn did to them defensively, but I would throw that tape in and see what mucked it up inside for those bigs for Florida. But a good win for Alabama last night.
What is going on with Taylor Boboin? I mean, he just doesn't have any confidence.
That may be it.
He keeps shooting, though. Yeah. I mean, he may not have confidence, but he does not have shame.
But, I mean, just when you see him out there physically, I mean, you see the athleticism, the explosion, and for him to have double figures, 1 out of his last 9 games, and again, struggling for the field last night, where he goes 1 of 7, I just, I don't get it.
But Nate Oates keeps putting him out there.
Yeah.
I mean, Nate Oates sees something in him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's for him to continue to log the minutes. I mean, he gets 19 minutes last night. He's definitely seeing something in him, but he's just not productive at all offensively.
But Nate's that way now. I mean, who was the player last year? Was it Jaron Stevenson? There was somebody that just kept struggling, and Oates just kept sticking with him.
It was Noah Clowney. No, not Noah Clowney. It was the kid that's at North Carolina now.
Yeah, Jaron Stevenson. Yeah. And there was something that Nate Oates really liked that he brought to the game. Because everybody was like, why is this guy still getting minutes?
Well, I liked him too. I remember, I think it was Zach in the chat room would always kill me for defending him.
Yeah.
But I thought he was a really good defensive player.
Well, it's funny. I was watching Saturday Virginia, North Carolina in Charlottesville, and Stevenson was playing in that game. And it was like midway second half where he got his first point. And the announcer, I don't even know who the announcer was like, this kid was a pretty good offensive player. He goes to Alabama. They turn him into more of a defensive player.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know that that's exactly what Nate wanted to do. I don't think Nate's like, we don't want you scoring now. You go out and get stops. Maybe he just struggles offensively. And apparently he does, because for North Carolina, he had not scored until midway through the second half in that game.
Give me cut 3, Tyler, if you will, because I think a lot of people wanted to hear from Aiden Sherrill about – I mean, I instantly, when Bediako was coming back, I was like, I wonder how Aiden Sherrill is going to feel about this and the other bigs. He's not going to take minutes away from Sherrill. He's that good. But here's Sherrill. He gets asked last night by the great folks covering Alabama basketball about how Charles Bediako impacts what he's able to do offensively.
Having Charles back, just for you personally, maybe spacing-wise, or what opens up for you and allows you to be more of a scorer?
Having Charles is great. He allows me to play on the perimeter more. He allows me to be able to showcase my game a lot more. And he's a great teammate, and he's been helping us out a lot. So it's great having him here.
That is, by the way, you closed your eyes. That could be. I mean, he has the same tone as Shaquille, that same deep voice, which is really soothing. But
who was our Nikita?
Yeah, Nikita.
Yeah, the caller.
The big 3 guy.
Yeah.
Hey, fellas.
But that was your point, Brown, that with Bediako on the floor, it frees him up to play more naturally what he's good at.
Yeah, all I'm saying, Lance, is like, and again, this is just, these guys aren't going to play all 40 minutes, but like if you start that, how do you defend that? Like if you've got Bediako in the inside, you got a guy as big as Sherrill playing the 4, and now a guy as big as Allen playing the 3.
It's difficult to do.
That's a pretty long lineup right there, isn't it? With some skilled offensive players. I don't know.
Yeah, and that is what's going to be fascinating about the matchup on Saturday, because you would have think now that Bediako gets put into the starting lineup last night for the first time, that him and Sherelle are going to get more and more minutes together, and they really start gelling as a unit. When does it hit? Is it Sunday? I mean, obviously last night with the way Wrightsell and some of the threes made last night in Missouri. I don't know where we are on Missouri right now. 14-7 and 4-4 in the SEC.
They're like a lot of the SEC.
Very average.
Yeah, very average. Right there in the middle of the SEC. I think you got a lot of teams that are alike.
Different team at home than they are on the road for sure.
Like a lot of the SEC. Yeah. I mean, but they're again.
I think they beat Auburn in Columbia.
Yeah,
but they lose by 36. Last night.
like yesterday, you and I were talking
26.
about who the best team is, and you said some would say Arkansas, and then Arkansas goes to Oklahoma, and they are fortunate to win at the worst team in the league. So was Alabama, by the way.
How they covered that 2.5.
That was a miracle cover, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was.
Arkansas beats Oklahoma last night 83-79 to one of the best players in the league, Darius Acuff. And then there were two teams in the SEC that were going in opposite directions. Kentucky had won 5 straight. Vandy had been struggling. They played last night. And before we give you the reaction from the Vandy win over Kentucky 80-55, let's go back to the weekend. This is middle school, high school basketball, junior high basketball in the state of Kentucky streaming service with Emelina and Carr Creek. Carr Creek's got this one in the bag late, and then chaos happens.
James, go get Justin.
And here we go.
Let's get out of here.
Let's get the ball game.
Hey.
Look here. This ball game's got to get over. You can't get this.
This game is over.
And they just tased dry. This ball game is over. We're going to end our live feed. This game has got to come to an end.
That might have been the 100th time I've watched that, and I laugh every time.
That sounds like Bubba Bussy a little bit, doesn't it? Hey, so I saw it in our text thread, and I watched it one time. Very funny, but how did that thing escalate so quickly?
It's a great question.
And was it a coach that attacked a player?
I don't know if James got to Justin in time. I think that was our issue to start with.
Yeah, I picked James being part of the broadcast crew.
Yeah, go get Justin.
Go get Justin.
Yeah, so James apparently didn't get to Justin in time, and then Ryan appeared to be fired up.
Like the player gets shoved, and it looks like one of the coaches is the guy that shoves him, right?
If you'll notice, here's something to notice. We got a lady that comes out here, and now we got this guy.
A lot of teammates don't have their...
The guy that's talking to the lady's the one that gets attacked, so something happened there.
So this could have been parents chirping the whole time.
Yeah, it could have been. You don't know. Hills of Kentucky, who knows?
Yeah.
Another part you don't want to miss is the announcer, like he's Jerry the King Lawler. Here we go.
Here we go. Yep. And then the tribute to Chris Stewart. Let's get out of here.
Where did the tase come from, though?
I don't know. I mean, it's not a uniformed officer that I can tell.
No, I think it's this guy right here that's walking towards the timeline right now.
I'll tell you what, Ryan goes face first into the floor after the tase. I mean, he
starts trying to get up. Yeah. So they just tased Ryan. Gets us back to Vanderbilt, who beat Kentucky. That's Kentucky junior high basketball. Last night, the official Vandy Twitter account sends this after the 80-55 win. They just tased Ryan. This ball game is over. Doors win.
Well done. I mean, SEC Twitter is on fire. The one Tennessee did after the Bama game was spectacular.
Yeah. Blue Coats, you're next.
Blue Coats, you're next. That one.
The G League defending champions.
Yeah. That one, I think, takes it up another notch in my book. I applaud Tennessee. Theirs was funny. That one is spectacular.
Yep. So that's the SEC last night. We'll tell you about tonight's games after we tell you about great folks like Lance's Lock and our friends at Hemphill. Lance, I get the feeling maybe had Oklahoma.
Oh, we had Oklahoma last night. Yeah, that cost us a push-out night. So we had a rough night last night. We bounced back tonight. More winners up and available at lanceslock.com. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for any plumbing, heating, cooling issues in your home or business. They are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
I knew I was going to win. I did not bet last night, but when I was leaving after seeing the SEC basketball lines, I was like, 3-team parlay, Alabama, Vandy, and Arkansas was my thinking. And apparently I would have been on the wrong side of Arkansas, Oklahoma, and what the smart people would have said, but I would have snuck out a very sweating victory there. Tonight we got 3 games. We'll tell you more about them after Brownie tells you about Bojangles.
You can make a bow time at Bojangles. That chicken rice bowl is back for a limited time right there with our friends at Bojangles. Great for lunch, great for dinner. They're at Bojangles. It starts with that hearty scoop of their dirty rice. They're going to follow it up by another scoop of those Cajun pinto beans right there on top, plus a layer of melted cheese. And then finally, your choice of chicken. It is hot, it is hearty, and it is all yours for just $7.49. Don't wait too long. The bowl is only back for a limited time. So if you are hungry, you know where to go. The drive-thru's always open with our friends at Bojangles. Make it bow time.
Texas Auburn, 6 o'clock down at Neville. Sellout always. Stephen Pearl talking about coming off the Florida win, now playing this Texas team that has its moments.
While I said Florida was the best team in our league, this is the most dangerous team in our league, and it's not even close in my opinion. They have 4 guys that account for 70% of their offensive production, and they have a bunch of guys that just understand what they're supposed to be doing out there in their roles. They have 3 guards that can beat you on any given night, that all do different things at a very, very high level. They have beaten more top 25 teams than anyone in our conference with 4 top 25 wins. They have a top 10 offense nationally. They're one of the best rebounding teams in college basketball. In their wins, they're plus 16 in rebounds, and in their losses, they're plus 1. So, we got to have the same intention that we did against Florida as far as rebounding the basketball, because they do a great job of going to get it.
And they killed Florida in rebounding and in the paint. That's where they won the game, Auburn did. I saw this Texas team in person when they beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa. And Alabama could not control the guards that day. When their guards have been good, Texas has been almost unbeatable. They just have been such a roller coaster team.
And that night for Bama, it was Jordan Pope. Most nights it's Dalen Swain. I mean, both of these guys, and as he mentioned, you throw Tremont Mark in there. So a very, very talented offensive Texas team that hasn't found their way yet. I mean, Sean Miller is going to get it right. We saw, or actually heard, one of the best sound bites of the year last year when he was talking about how well they foul, which could be a major factor in tonight's game.
If they continue to do that on the road, to Sean Miller's point, it's going to be really, really hard to win in the SEC when you give the team that many free throws.
Well, and Auburn 8-1 at home this year. There's a reason Auburn's a 6.5-point favorite here.
But I do think.
Is that one of your plays at lanceslock.com?
Not yet.
Yeah, lanceslock.com later on today.
I do think what Steven says is right. They are the most dangerous team, Texas, because we've seen it when they get it all together. They can be a really good basketball team, man, and be a really, really difficult out. But we've seen it when they play like Sean Miller was disgusted with them playing. They're an average team like a lot of the SEC. So, yeah, it's quite a dangerous team, and I think it's quite a dangerous spot for Auburn. You've had people telling them all week long what an amazing win that was, doing the victory lap, patting everybody on the back. You've won at Florida. You beat the defending national champion. We rolled Toomer's Corner, all those things. And if you don't get back down to earth quickly enough and have any sort of hangover from that, Texas will take advantage of it.
Tennessee at Georgia. We'll see if Tennessee can back up their win in Tuscaloosa, and Florida and South Carolina. That's your SEC slate for tonight. Last night, after Arizona stayed 21-0, Nebraska could not match it. They led most of the game in Ann Arbor against Michigan, who is 3rd ranked in the country and only has 1 loss themselves. Down 7 with 8 to go, Michigan played really tough, and they held on and beat Nebraska 75-72. Michigan's got 1 loss. That was Nebraska's first loss. That was a heck of a basketball game.
Man, and Fred Hoiberg obviously has done an incredible job there. I mean, they led by 11 early. They hit 11 threes in the first half, and then they got held scoreless the final 3.5 minutes. That was their first loss since March 9th of last year.
Almost went a full calendar.
24 consecutive wins going back to last year, but that's hard to believe that March 9th. That shows you the job he's done with this program.
I'm really stunned that game was that close.
Yeah, so just to clarify, did they play in one of those weird postseason tournaments?
I think so, yeah.
I don't even think it was the NIT. I think it was.
Yeah, the CBA or CBB or something, because you can't. In the way the way college
there's only one team that I get it,
can carry a win streak over, right? Unless you play in one of those, the NIT or some other tournament. So I was just confused by that because either you lose in the Big Ten tournament or you lose in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, are you pulling it, bro?
I am. I'm going to find out.
Unless you win the NIT.
Yeah, I mean, I know for a fact they have not won. It's 24 straight wins, and they haven't lost since March 9th, but they were only 20-0 coming into the game. So
they played in that Crown event that was on Fox. Do you guys remember that one? It finished out at T-Mobile Arena. Well, not the T-Mobile Arena. It's a alternate T-Mobile Arena, not the one that's actually in Vegas, but it's the one that's near Vegas. And they won all 4 of those games, beat Arizona State, Georgetown, Boise State, and Central Florida to take home that championship.
Yeah, that the one that's supposed to contend with the NIT because they're going to have more money behind it in Vegas.
That's what they're trying to do. So anyway, so they I was stunned that game was that close. When Mark Gottfried was on yesterday, we pointed out that 38 combined wins, and the point spread was 10.5, which tells you a lot when you got 2 teams that many wins this late in the season.
Yeah. All right. And Miami of Ohio, 3rd straight overtime game, but they're still unbeaten, 21-0. To match Arizona, the only 2 unbeaten teams left, different schedules, but Miami of Ohio still getting it done. Indiana beat Purdue last night with a big win in Bloomington in front of a raucous crowd. For you basketball recruiting fans, I think I'm right about this. Caden Samuels is a 6'6" forward, a top 25 high school recruit in college basketball, and I think he's choosing today between Alabama and Georgetown. Alabama and Georgetown. So we'll see if he selects today and if Alabama is the answer there.
So weird. Like if this is a guy that's getting recruited in 1988, you're like, how in the hell's Alabama in the mix with Georgetown?
But now it's the other way around. It's like, how is Georgetown in the mix for Alabama?
Wow.
Speaking of which, LT, 37 years ago today, to show you how different sports is now, 37 years ago today, they moved a game off of campus in Baton Rouge, and they played it down at the Superdome. Georgetown and LSU played a basketball game in front of over 50,000 in the Superdome, a regular season game, and LSU upset Georgetown 37 years ago today, 1989.
See, I don't remember them playing Georgetown out of conference. I remember UNLV out of conference.
Yeah, I do remember that game because that was like 140 to 139 or something. Well, that was a crazy
was on
game.
Campus. I remember that one.
That was at the Deaf Dome. But did you realize LSU was down 3 major this was a massive upset because they were down 3 major players in that game. Do you know why? I saw it this morning.
They were suspended.
To show you how times have changed.
They were suspended for using money for books.
Nope, if only. Proposition 48, Prop 48, it was an academic suspension.
Gosh. Oh, wow.
So, we talk about this all the time. Like, when's the last time you've heard a guy be academically ineligible? LSU's 3 of their best players were for that game. So that ended up being a pretty big upset. Because that's when Georgetown obviously was
big enough that we're still talking about it 37 years later.
Prop 48, when's the last time you heard that?
Exactly.
Because I brought up APR last week.
And I'd forgotten that existed. Down at the Superdome, 50,000 people there for that one.
Our friends at Shannara bringing us the conversation on Bill Belichick. If there's ever an attorney Hall of Fame, he'll be a first ballot guy.
There's no doubt. Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys. Shannara.com is the place you go when you're in need of an attorney. Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys. That is where you start. He wanted to create a firm that can handle any issue his community faced. He has done just that. Now they don't just handle personal injury claims. You're aware of that, right, over the years, but also claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, and a host of other claims. If you find yourself in need of an attorney, Alexander Shannara, trial attorney, is where you start. Shannara.com, Shannara.com.
All right, Bill Belichick will not be a first ballot Hall of Fame, according to reporters. For those that forget, Bill Belichick was not always the coach at middling North Carolina. He won 6 Super Bowls as the head coach of the Patriots, 2 as a defensive coordinator with the Giants. He has the most playoff wins in history. But he came up, of 50 voters, he came up short of the 40 votes needed to be a Hall of Famer. This was his first chance to be on the ballot. The tweet there from Adam Schefter, one of the guys reporting it. Apparently, Bill Polian is the fingerprints on all this. Bill Polian, who is a voter, one of the 50, reached out to other voters and says not making him a first ballot Hall of Famer, this is from reports, would be perfect punishment for Spygate and Deflategate.
So ridiculous. But, this goes back. I mean, Hall of Fames and baseball writers have always been different from the guys that vote for the Hall of Fame when it comes to Canton. But, when we talk about guys like Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds and Alex Rodriguez, not getting in based on PEDs, and now you get this with Belichick. This is silly. I mean, it's one thing for Polian to be able to do that, but to be able to influence 9 other guys that he shouldn't be a first ballot is absolutely insane. 6 Super Bowls, and not as impressive, but what he did with that Cleveland organization, to win 11 games in a year.
I would say 2 things. One, Brown, is that Bill Polian should lose his vote if he's trying to influence other voters, one way or the other.
Yeah, I agree completely.
There should be no campaigning.
It's my vote.
You should lose your vote.
That's right.
And secondly, I think this is just another sign that Hall of Fames are dead in this generation, that we continue to have people that don't connect with the fans on who belongs in these Hall of Fames. Either your Hall of Fame is too wide open and it puts in people that are not deserving of that, or they're keeping the sport's best out for reasons that do not connect with the fans. There is no fan that watches the NFL that thinks about Spygate and Deflategate to the point that they think Bill Belichick doesn't belong in there.
Like there are, I would agree with you 100%. I think the voters put way too much thought into what fans actually think. Like, I think the majority of fans have no problem with Bonds and that group being in there, even with the PEDs. Not to say it's right or wrong. I'm just saying
100%.
I think most fans are like, no, you should put them in the Hall of Fame. I think almost every fan says that about Belichick. I'm a lifelong Dolphins fan. That is in my division. Do you know how many games my team lost to Belichick?
All of them.
Not all of them, but a lot of them.
But yeah.
He had he had Gronkowski in pass coverage at one point. We won. That guy, like, there are some people where the vote's just because we got to vote. He's one of them. Like, Tom Brady is another one. Like, yeah, we vote because we got to vote, but this guy's obviously a first ballot. Bill Belichick is the best that has ever done it as an NFL head coach.
Well, you could just tell. I'm sitting there, flipping through X last night and seeing guys like Jimmy Johnson losing their minds and dropping F-bombs and saying, hey, these guys need to be fired.
Here's the Jimmy Johnson tweets that Forrester has pulled up for you, LT, exactly what we were going to go to. Not just one, as Forrester points out. He kept firing.
Kept going.
For those on audio, I would like to know the names of the assholes, quote, who did not vote for him. They are too cowardly to identify themselves. If they are using the excuse of Spygate, that's ridiculous. Many teams, including ourselves, tried it. Howard Mudd at Kansas City, who later coached for Bill Polian and Tony Dungy, gave us the idea. He was the best. We didn't get anything and stopped, but many teams gave it a try. I would bet that if the Hall of Fame votes were public, very few of these, quote, assholes, end quote, that did not vote for Bill Belichick would come forward. Already some are lying about their vote. Jimmy Johnson, Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Boy, so, somewhere Howard Mudd was sitting around like, whoa. Now what
does Dungy have a vote?
I don't know. That seems to be too concentrated with the Indianapolis Colts if he's got a vote.
Him and Polian,
yeah, maybe. But, I mean, for him to, pull out Dungy's name.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's, it's such a stupid hill for Polian to die on, knowing that Belichick's going to get in. And
well, I would imagine he did not expect this to become public. You know what I mean? Bill Polian didn't wake up when he was calling these buddies and having a little conversation. Hey, Lance.
What? No, you
know
think
what we
that,
should,
but
Spygate, Deflategate. Let's
he's got to still be smart enough to know if Belichick doesn't get in with the first ballot. And look, and that was his strategy, right?
Yeah.
Was to cause enough chaos for 9 other guys to take away their vote. That's exactly what happened. So what he wanted to go down actually went down. So if Belichick wasn't going to be a first balloter, everybody was going to be talking about this, which we are.
And the great spin on this, Polian probably should have voted Belichick in, and now he could say, you can look at you can announce my ballot if you want. I voted him in.
Yeah.
I don't know why the people are saying I did this or didn't do that. There are just certain people in sports. Like if I go NASCAR, Dale Earnhardt Sr., no doubter.
Yeah, again, that's one of those who you vote because you got to vote.
That's right.
But it is symbolic.
Tom Brady in the NFL,
no
LeBron
doubt.
James, Michael Jordan. There's just a handful of guys, and Bill Belichick would be one of those guys that is in.
Each team has a media representative, like Indianapolis is some TV guy up there. But then there's an at-large group where both Dungy and Bill Polian fell in. So that's your primarily non-media people.
So basically, Indianapolis gets 3 votes every time.
Yeah, you got Dungy,
local TV guy,
and Bill Polian. Yeah. But even,
that tells me Dungy voted against him or didn't vote for him.
I mean, there were 50 votes.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's not against, it's who you vote for. Leaving him off your ballot.
And I can't remember who it was because one guy was like, hey, I'm a voter. Like, there is a chance, because you can only vote for so many people, that a lot of people thought, look, Belichick's going to get the votes. I got to give a vote to this guy. See what I'm saying? Because I think you can only put 3 on the ballot, kind of like the Heisman. So there were some people like, if all 50 vote for Belichick, as they should, there's some other guys that aren't going to get in. So I'm going to assume Belichick gets the vote, so I'll leave him off my ballot so these other guys get votes. You see what I'm saying there?
Oh, yeah.
But, boy, that
seems like sour grapes. I mean, I
it
know
also seems like you're not doing it right.
That's right.
Not doing it right, but Belichick owned Dungy. I always thought Dungy was very overrated anyway.
He built the Buccaneer team that Gruden led to the championship. Here's LeBron James. Man, there's no way I read that right? Ain't no way Bill Belichick ain't first ballot Hall of Fame. That's impossible, egregious, and quite frankly, disrespectful.
Quite frankly.
Did Stephen A. Smith?
To tell you.
Did Stephen A. type that for him? Patrick Mahomes, insane. Don't even understand how this could be possible. So there's 2 future first ballot Hall of Famers saying it's crazy, including Patrick Mahomes.
Of course it is. I mean, anybody looks at this and is like, how this guy's not first ballot? I mean, what kind of Hall of Fame do you have?
They just keep coming.
They do. I mean, it is one after another last night.
J.J. Watt. Thanks, Forrester. J.J. Watt. Can't be reading this right. This has been some knockoff Hall of Fame or something. It can't be the actual NFL Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame, J.J. Troy, a disappointing day for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Coach Prime. The disrespect to Coach Belichick is straight out ignorant. He's arguably the best NFL coach to ever coach the game. How quickly we forget the impact Coach Belichick made on all of us. NFL, wow. Hashtag Coach Prime.
Yeah, all I could do when I saw it is I Googled, first time coaches that made the ballot. There are 5 of them. And they're all really good coaches.
I'm going to say Jimmy Johnson.
I think Jimmy Johnson was one of them.
Chuck Noll.
Yep, Chuck Noll definitely was.
Bill Walsh.
Bill Walsh definitely was.
Joe Gibbs?
No, I'd say Vince Lombardi.
Vince Lombardi was.
Okay.
And I'd say, I don't know if they did him as a coach or an
Don
owner.
Shula had to be.
But I was going to go George Hallis.
George Hallis and Don Shula. I think that was your 5.
Yeah, I mean, Shula's the winningest all time. He had to be,
Yeah, but all great coaches, but none of them better than Belichick.
No, I mean, again, lifelong Dolphins fan, my coach, Don Shula, is the winningest coach of all time. I don't make an argument. It is Bill Belichick's the best NFL coach that's ever done it.
Super Bowl conversation later in the show and probably for the next couple of shows because it's the bye week in between with Shedeur Sanders as a Pro Bowl quarterback, by the way. If you want to talk about things that have jumped the shark.
I mean, that is the dumbest thing ever. That should immediately, like I've always said, or haven't always, the last few years, there is no reason for us, if you want to acknowledge somebody making the Pro Bowl and legitimate guys making the Pro Bowl, don't send them there. I mean, this is an example of people not wanting to go, but they should immediately be done with that game after this.
Well, I mean, it should be, you should take, he was a Pro Bowler off of the resumes for everybody. Well, he was all pro.
All pro is the honor.
Yeah, well, I mean,
there's only one of those.
It was going to be a 4th down, one of the 4-down questions today, but what was more ridiculous, Shedeur actually starting or getting a nod in this game or Belichick getting left out? I mean, what is more ridiculous?
I've still got to go Belichick.
I don't know. I think it's more that Shedeur Sanders is a Pro Bowl quarterback. Because when I grew up, if you were a Pro Bowl quarterback, it meant something.
But it's a skills competition now. It's not even a game anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But, I mean, I could see his agent try to shake down – when he's trying to battle for the 3rd emergency quarterback in the next couple of years. Yeah. Hey, Shedeur was a rookie Pro Bowl quarterback.
Didn't even start the whole
season. There's probably in a collective bargaining that you can't pay a Pro Bowl quarterback less than this amount. There's probably something in collective bargaining. All right, show being brought to you today by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. They bring you part of the show. If you're getting ready for the big game coming up in a week from this Sunday, New York Butcher can help you.
The New York Butcher Shop, the best when it comes to the steaks, ribs, chicken, pork. Fantastic. 82 really good steakhouses over this past week in Seattle. Guess what? Neither is good as the fresh meat you get at the New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Get in, see the great staff of butchers, Jim, the fantastic folks there. Great selection of fine wines and desserts as well. 2 locations, the original Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. One-stop dinner shop. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
Chad GPT of LT's commercial there says that Birmingham meat better than Seattle meat. That's the
Yep.
takeaway.
Yep.
That's the concise of what LT just told you right there with our friends at New York Butcher Shop. Also, our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama helping you stay healthy, guys, in 2026. If you have not been checked out, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, or 50s, for prostate health, now's the time to do it. Make it a priority, guys. Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com. There's 16 locations, so there's one convenient for you. There's no excuse for not going there, right? Also, they've been doing this for over 70 years with great compassion and the great urologists who work there. 205-930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels, January 30th through February 1st at the BJCC. With customs, classics, hot rods, and more. Don't miss the Golden Riders motorcycle stunt team, plus BMX stunt teams performing outrageous stunts live. Friday, meet WWE star Rikishi. Saturday is Kevin Mack from Counts Customs. And Sunday, meet TV host Courtney Hansen. Bring the kids for free Hot Wheels racing, costume characters, rides, and more. Get discount tickets at all O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Details at worldofwheels.net.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Clay Travis is going to be on the show today. He's coming up at the top of the hour. Bucky McMillan may join us in the final hour of the show today.
And we're going to go yellow light on that right now.
He's busy.
That's why I said may join us.
I know. I was putting it in perspective, Jim.
Guys a little surprised they weren't ranked?
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
I mean, it's a big story, and obviously, I mean, it's not like the last few games have been ultra difficult, but they're not losing right now.
Yeah, I know.
First place in the SEC. We will maybe talk to Bucky coming up a little bit later on. The show being brought to you today by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa before we jump into college football.
Yeah, the gift of relaxation, you can get it 24/7 at birmingham.woodhousespas.com, or just stop in, see Stuart and that great staff. Beautiful location at the Summit Shopping Centers right off of Highway 280. When you're in there, you can choose from a menu of over 70 options, the facials, the waxing, the nail services. They've got it all right there at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Great accessories as well. Stop in, but you can get those gift cards 24/7 online, birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
Our buddy Chris Marler, Vern Funquist on social media with a couple of interesting graphics for his Louisiana sports group down there in Baton Rouge. One of them impacts Auburn and Lane Kiffin at LSU, but also Auburn. It's the Who's Coming With Me from the old school. Okay, by numbers, how many people left Ole Miss that went with Lane to LSU, USF to Auburn? Here's the graphic. Matt Campbell has the most, by the way. 27 Iowa State players to Penn State.
Yeah, look, Iowa State fans probably aren't happy about this, but like when you look at this makes sense. Like Matt Campbell takes a much bigger job. Iowa State players, including Rocco Beck, get much high-profile place going to Penn State. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, all the way down the list, Lane Kiffin right now just has 4 from Ole Miss.
Boy, I got the feel it was more than that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it seems like we talked a lot about it for it to only be
It's
4.
almost like you need, not that Lane would say this, almost need to sandbag it, though. Like, hey, let's not all jump at once.
Yeah,
it's true. Some of that did happen, Lance.
And probably a little surprising to some, John Summerall just with 2 when this graphic was made from Tulane to Florida.
Yeah, but he told us it wasn't a talented Tulane.
He did.
We're very average. He shows it right there.
After Matt Campbell, 27, Iowa State to Penn State. Eric Morris, 17 from North Texas to Oklahoma State. There were a couple of good ones, and then filling out the roster. Jimmy Rogers, I didn't know who he was. Left Washington State to Iowa State, took 15. There's Alex Golish with 13 USF players to Auburn. James Franklin took 12 Penn State players to Virginia Tech. Now, that's interesting to me.
I agree, and I think it's one of the reasons that a lot of people are high on Virginia Tech this year in the ACC in year 1 under James Franklin.
Like, that's the first one you've read where it
goes backwards?
Goes backwards. Yeah, I'm going from a better program to a worse program.
Yeah, but he was a really good recruiter.
Oh, yeah. No, if I'm a Virginia Tech fan, I am excited to get 12 Penn State players that James Franklin liked.
Yeah, you got Bob Chesney, 10 from James Madison to UCLA. Pretty good little James Madison team, though. So
I was going to say that's arguable, Brown.
No, I'm not sure what's the better one.
Yeah, Memphis to Arkansas with Silverfield with 7. Whittingham to Utah, 5 Utah players to Michigan. And then the Kiffin Summerall there. Just interesting on who's coming with me there. Because that sort of now is the Cignetti model, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, that's what people want to copy. It's a little bit different when you see, that James Madison to Indiana at that time. You knew Indiana needed the help. We had no idea the impact that we would see 2 full years in.
Yeah, if I'm a Penn State fan, though, James Franklin was a good recruiter, to your point. I don't know how digestible, basically it's a little more than a quarter of my roster is going to be an Iowa State roster. I do think Kirk Cignetti helped coaches do this. Like, without what Cignetti has done, Penn State fans would probably be going nuts to get 27 Iowa State players. But now that Cignetti's done it, you're like, okay, it worked for them. They won a national championship this way. I'm going to let my guy bring in his guys. But boy, 27 is a lot if I'm a Penn State fan.
It is a lot, but I think what you get excited about is most of those 27, like Rocco Beck, have played a lot of football.
Yeah, you do get the quarterback.
Yeah.
And Matt Campbell seemed to be a culture guy.
Culture guy that did develop players.
And they seem to be tough. Always a physical, tough, gritty team, which I think would help Penn State a little bit. That one didn't bother me as much. And as I said with USF and Auburn, 2 or 3 of those guys, the running back, the wide receiver, and obviously the quarterback, those 3, if you just took Alex Golesh off the table, if you were still Hugh Freeze and you got those 3 guys from USF, you should be excited.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, you hire guys like Alex Golesh and Matt Campbell because you trust their decision-making, right? And you trust them being great coaches. If they're bringing these guys over, they think they're obviously talented enough to make an impact.
Okay, here's the other graphic that the streak, I don't know how long the streak's been, but the Big Ten officially this year signed more 5-star players than the SEC did. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Here's a graph that Marler put out that shows you how, I mean, look at the gap. The SEC's yellow line, the gold line.
Uh-huh.
Look at how many more 5-stars the SEC had all these years. And at one point, look at that one point right there where the SEC at its peak, the Big Ten was almost, it looks like it was lower than the ACC and the Big 12.
It was in, what was that, 2024? Yeah.
But now the Big Ten has passed the SEC on signing 5-star recruits. Now, these are just the 5-star guys. But that's pretty crazy. And the final Rivals rankings were out. USC number 1, Big Ten school. They had 2 5-stars. Notre Dame was second, independent, with 4 5-stars. Oregon was third, Big Ten, 4 5-stars. Georgia was fourth, SEC, 1 5-star. 1.
Wow.
Alabama fifth with 3 5-stars. Ohio State 6th with 1 5-star. A&M 7th, 1 5-star. Tennessee 8th with 2 5-stars. Miami 9th with 1 5-star. And Texas 10th with 3 5-stars. So Texas and Alabama with 3 5-stars in the SEC there in the top 10.
Can I present a theory? I mean, this is simply like we're in a science lab and like, what do you guys think is going on with this equation? Well, Ryan's got a theory. And I would bet you this is a popular theory in Big Ten country. So prior to NIL, I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you the Big Ten didn't cheat. They did. But don't you think it was probably more difficult to come to the SEC's backyard and cheat to get players than it was in your own backyard? You see what I'm saying? So Ohio State, like if Ohio State wanted a kid out of Ohio and wanted to cheat to get him, they could probably get around everything.
No, I see what you're saying. I mean,
but if
now
you want a kid out of Florida,
you've got whistleblowers like Dabo Swinney.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're coming in from another conference. There's a better than good chance that somebody's going to call you out.
Like if
we're
I'm
not going to turn each other in, but we're not going to let them come down and take our guys.
Like if I'm Ohio State and I want a kid out of Florida, Miami, Florida, and Florida State are all going to work against me, right? But if it's a kid in the state of Florida, Florida State, and Miami, no, we're all cheating to get the guy. So, may the best cheater win. But we, by gosh, are not going to let Ohio State come down here and get him. That's my point. That's the point I'm making.
Yep.
Well, now we're in an NIL world where none of that matters, where Ohio State can come down to Florida and tell a kid, $5 million is what you want. Here's $5 million. I'm sure that's what the Big Ten fans would say. Well, now the rabbit's got the gun, and it's not going to be as fun for the SEC.
LSU 11th, Florida 15th, Oklahoma 16th, South Carolina 18, Ole Miss 25 in the top 25 of recruiting now that Rivals finalized their star rankings. That's high school recruiting. We know some people don't put the as important. It's not as important as it used to be because of the transfer portal. To what LT just brought up Dabo Swinney after we tell you about our great friends at the World of Wills. Brownie, we'll be down there on Friday.
That is right. WorldOfWills.net. It all starts Friday. It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wills 55th annual edition. Not only are we going to be there Friday, but so is Rikishi. You can come see the WWE star and get a photo, get an autograph right there on Friday, 4 to 7. Kevin Mack from Counts Customs on stage signing autographs on Saturday. And then Sunday, Courtney Hansen, TV host and personality, she's going to be there making a celebrity appearance as well at the World of Wills. 55th Annual O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wills Custom Auto Show, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, BJCC. It is so big, it's in 3 exhibition halls, north, south, and east. You can get all the info at worldofwheels.net. You can also get your tickets at the door or discount tickets at any O'Reilly Auto Parts store. Worldofwheels.net for the 55th annual O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels this Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the BJCC North, South, and East Exhibition Halls. Worldofwheels.net.
Okay, so we talked about in length on Monday's show the full timeline of what Dabo Swinney laid out, long soundbite about Pete Golding and Ole Miss tampering with Luke Farrelly, why he was already enrolled at Clemson in a class, and now he's at Ole Miss. So we played you that soundbite on Monday. Yesterday I told you that the NCAA is investigating this. They've let Dabo know that they're looking into it. Dabo, in that same news conference from the weekend, challenged other coaches to call out tampering. He wants this to become a coach's policed situation. Listen in.
And I know for a fact that this is happening at other places. Because you know why? Because I've had a bunch of coaches over the last week that have reached out to me. And they're going, well, let me tell you what's happened to me. Let me tell you what I know. Let me tell you my story. I've had a lot of people reach out with their stories. And so I want to challenge all of those coaches that have reached out to me. I want to challenge all of them. You need to step up and call it out. You either step up and you be an example to young coaches in this profession and be people of integrity, or just shut your mouth and don't complain again.
That's Dabo Swinney there challenging the other coaches.
I don't have a problem with that. Like, I do think that there is a problem with the tampering of guys that aren't in the portal on your roster. Like, I'm 100% behind. I don't know what other people are saying with this, but I think Dabo's got a point here. I mean, it's one thing to bend the rules and skirt different things on getting kids in and paying them more than you're supposed to, but when a guy is on your roster and you've got other coaches calling him, that's a problem.
The fact that Dabo said, and he said in the news conference, another soundbite, this is not an investigation that should take 3 months, and it shouldn't take 3 years by the NCAA. It should take 3 days. That they should get the phone records and just look at the text and all that. It should be that simple. But do you think the NCAA is going to do anything to Ole Miss about this?
What could they do?
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult because imagine if you do that. I mean, what it open, much like this Bediako thing, on a different level, like what that opens up to. I mean, you've got to start investigating everybody if people start pointing fingers, and then what happens? I don't know. I think it's going to be really difficult for them to do anything.
And Dabo basically is saying what you were saying about, if Miami and Florida State were doing this, they sort of policed each other. Dabo is saying the NCAA is not going to do anything.
No.
We've got to, as coaches, start calling it out, and we police ourselves.
And you can say what you want about Dabo. I think he's being genuine and truthful in this simply because I know how much he hates this iteration of college football. Dabo hates this.
Yeah. And as I said Monday, he finally dipped his toe in the portal, and look what happened.
Look what happened. He hates the transfer portal, and he hates paying players. Those are his words, by the way. I'm not just saying Dabo acts like that. Those are Dabo's words. He has been very vocal about this. He hates this portion of college football. So, I genuinely think Dabo is like, man, we tried to dive in, and this is what happened. And if coaches want this crap to stop, you better say something. Now, there will be exactly 0 coaches that do this. I don't think there'll be another coach that comes out and says, you know what? I heard what Coach Swinney said, and I just want to start my press conference by saying I agree with Dabo.
Yeah. And why? Because if Ryan Brown said that, then I would be the coach that would say, well, you know what Ryan Brown did to me? I can't believe Ryan Brown said this. Ryan Brown.
But what if Ryan Brown hadn't done anything?
Well, how many Ryan Browns are there?
There's
not a lot.
But if you are, if you're a player and you go to your head coach and you're like, hey, look what Pete Golding just texted me.
Which apparently this happened right here.
I wonder how many times you've had that coach call the coach immediately.
But this goes
and
back.
we just haven't heard about it.
And I like the way Dabo said, look, I told my guy, hey, Pete's been on the job basically 5 days, it seems like, because of everything, his head swimming. Just let him know. We know what they're doing. Tell him to stop. Leave our guy alone. And I don't want to do anything. Just tell him, I know he's new on the job. Tell him that's not the way we're going to do things. Just stop. I like the way he did that.
Yeah, but I wonder why
the guy's like, Pete's going to Pete, man.
Yeah, that's what he said. Right. Pete's going to Pete, man. I can't do nothing about it.
But
that's exactly what he said, by the way. I don't know if you saw it.
No, I didn't. Yeah. But that's incredible.
He said they called, and the guy, they were talking to the GM or the agent. We were unclear on which. And they're like, look, I can say something, but Pete's going to do what Pete's going to do. Pete's going to Pete.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you do in that situation.
I mean,
Dabo calls it out, yeah.
But I'll tell you, it goes back to when we played the reaction to the Bediako thing. Like, Tom Izzo was Dabo Swinney. Tom Izzo's like, I can't believe we're doing this. I don't know where this sport's going, you know. But then you got to Todd Golden and Stephen Pearl, and they're like, look, I like Nate. Nate's a good guy. And,
Golden was a little different.
He guaranteed a win, but he also was like, I understand what Nate's doing. Nate's doing what he's got to do to win. Like, the younger coaches are going to be around a while. They were like, I don't want to build too big of a wall here because I might have to climb over this wall at some point.
Yeah, if this is the way we're going to do it,
That's right.
I'm going to do it too.
Yeah.
All right, Michelson Laser Vision brings you the viewing menu every day on the show. Clay Travis coming up in a moment. Tell us about Michelson.
Yeah, if you wear glasses or contacts, you're wasting money each and every year. I'm speaking from experience. I had the contacts for about a decade. Finally went to see Dr. Mark Michelson in 2003. Got the procedure done. 2015 vision, better than 2020. 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy Toe. The next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
All right, we got a new release on Prime tonight. A new movie, a buddy action comedy called The Wrecking Crew. Estranged half-brothers Johnny and James reunite after their father's mysterious death. As they search for the truth, buried secrets reveal a conspiracy threatening to tear their family apart. And it stars Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa. So you got just two really jacked guys in an action comedy.
Bautista, though, he looked sick. And some of the pictures...
Yeah, I don't know where he's at now.
I was going to say, I wonder if he's beefed back up.
Yeah, for a minute there, he was looking real skinny and started wearing pearls.
Yeah,
it was weird.
Very interesting.
And I mean, I grew up when Batista was like in his prime, like WWE Raw days when he was just roided up to the gills.
Roided up to the gills.
Oh my gosh, he was more juice than human.
And 75% on the tomato meter, by the way, just checking that.
Apple TV Plus has a new release today. It's season 3 of Shrinking. It continues the story of the therapist Jimmy Laird, played by Jason Segel, as he navigates life and therapy with transformative, often chaotic results. The new season brings new guest stars like Michael J. Fox and Jeff Daniels alongside the returning cast. I haven't seen this show because I don't have Apple TV. Have you seen it, Jim?
Season 1 was an A. Season 2 was a B. Not as good, but still some good moments.
I saw season 1. I thought it was good. I don't know why I didn't go back for season 2. But.
Yeah.
Are you gonna watch season 3?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm
once Jim starts,
I'm well known on this show that you can really suck.
Yeah.
Once I start watching it, I've got to see it end. I stayed through all of Lost. I had no problem with the Game of Thrones the way it ended because it needed to end, and even Brockmire. Season 4 is the worst television ever put on tape. I will put that up there. It is. If you hated season 1, 2, or 3. As bad as season 1, 2, or 3 is in your head, season 4 is the worst stuff put on television.
It doesn't surprise me based on what I saw from season 1 if it goes out that far. But you mentioned Game of Thrones, that Back to the Seven Kingdoms. I decided to give episode 2 a shot.
I can't watch it. The trailer, I can't get into the character.
They shortened it to 33 minutes, so this is a cash grab. But there's no violence.
Yeah, I mean it looked like it was a knockoff spoof of Game of Thrones in the trailer.
Yeah, it's basically just Knights games. It's like medieval times.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
I mean, the guy's got in the trailer, he's got an antler head on, and I was like, a hat of antlers.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there eating with his hat of antlers on, and I was like, this seems like a spoof. I'm not going to watch this.
Ooh, if I want to watch medieval times, I'll just rewatch The Cable Guy.
Have you ever been to a medieval? Because I had to find out if there's still medieval times. There's actually one in Georgia.
Oh, I'm sure there's one in Orlando.
Have you ever been though?
No.
Have you guys ever been to a medieval times?
I
haven't either.
There was a time in the 90s I wanted to go.
Yeah, I wanted to go, and I always asked my parents when we'd take a trip somewhere.
Shut up,
my
kid.
dad was just like, "No, you don't,
Tyler. Shut up, sit down.
You do not want to go. Trust me."
Yeah.
And so we never went.
See, the difference was I was not a kid in the 90s, and I wanted to go.
At 6 p.m. on Sci-Fi, you can rewatch one of the best movies that Brown's never seen, and that is Aliens, directed by James Cameron.
Never seen it, yep.
And then finally today, I may or may not wrap up my Lord of the Rings rewatch with the extended edition of Return of the King today.
Yes.
Yeah, he's dying to rewatch them again while they're all in theaters.
Okay.
Tyler's seen a lot of Lord of the Rings last week.
He's gone
Whatever
back.
you like, you like.
He's watched it all the way through one time, and has gone back and seen 2 of the 3 again in the theater. And he called it yesterday. You called it?
I think this rewatch has cemented it for me as the greatest film trilogy of all time.
Of which Lance says Rocky.
Well, I brought up Rocky 1, 2, 3, but then they had a 4.
No, I mean, trilogy's really, really tough because they fall apart at number 3. Like
The Godfather.
The Godfather fell apart at 3. Alien fell apart at 3. Terminator fell apart at 3.
Indiana Jones fell apart. Some would say at 2.
See,
Temple of Doom, but you love Temple
I
of Doom.
actually won the discussion yesterday
Temple
when
of
I
Doom's
said
the best one.
Porky's 2, Porky's Revenge.
Was meat in all 3?
Yeah, of course. All right, Clay Travis coming up on the other side. Show being brought to you by our friends at A+, Brownie.
That is the crew that redid the master bath in the Brown house. When it came time to redo our master bath, my wife Jennifer jumped on the internet. She scoured it looking for the right person for the job. She picked Brad Bell and his crews, and I'm glad she did. He did tremendous work for us. You can see more before and after. Scott's going to show you mine, but you can see some at alabamabathremodels.com. That is alabamabathremodels.com. I'm going to tell you what Brad specializes in, but I don't want you to hear me say it's all he does. Master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. The reason he specializes in those, you use those rooms a lot when you own your home. You can make some of your money back when you go to sell it. But listen, wherever your need is for a remodel project, let Brad take a look at it. I can promise you will not be disappointed. Here is his number if you just want to call him, 205-422-1758, 205-422-1758, or see more at alabamabathremodels.com. That is alabamabathremodels.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777, or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical office is Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels, January 30th through February 1st at the BJCC. With customs, classics, hot rods, and more. Don't miss the Golden Riders motorcycle stunt team, plus BMX stunt teams performing outrageous stunts live. Friday, meet WWE star Rikishi. Saturday is Kevin Mack from Counts Customs. And Sunday, meet TV host Courtney Hansen. Bring the kids for free Hot Wheels racing, costume characters, rides, and more. Get discount tickets at all O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Details at worldofwheels.net.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, Trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
I don't know who retreads more, American politics, ABC with Reba McEntire sitcoms, or NFL coaches. Todd Monken is now a head coach as we bring Clay Travis on of the Cleveland Browns.
Baffling.
Crazy.
Baffling. The Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator that basically let John Harbaugh fired, right? I mean, that's safe to say.
And Reba McEntire has another sitcom on network TV.
That is untrue. That is untrue. I do not believe that one. Clay Travis is with us now, founder of Outkick. You see him on Fox. A Wednesday visit from Clay because power and everything with the weather yesterday. He's with us now. What is up, Clay? How are you?
I'm doing well. I don't know how much attention you guys have paid to this ice storm, but it's pretty devastating to a lot of different parts of the Southeast right now. I've seen the footage from Oxford, Mississippi, and basically the swath of area that got pretty much ice on Saturday. I've never seen anything like it in decades. We still haven't gotten above freezing here in Nashville. I mean, I've got friends that have been told they're going to be without power for weeks. You drive through a lot of different neighborhoods, and it looks like a nuclear bomb went off. I mean, trees are down everywhere. It's, I've been through a lot of tornadoes. It's way worse than tornadoes because the amount of damage is far more extensive than your average tornado. So back in 1994, Nashville had a really, really utterly devastating ice storm. City has grown a lot since then. I think this one may end up being more devastating than that one. Schools have been out the whole week. My kids' school never shuts down. I don't know the last time it shut down for a full week. I went to the Vanderbilt Kentucky game last night. They played, and Vanderbilt shut down. And Vanderbilt never shuts down for this length of time either. So it is it's a pretty awful cataclysmic-esque event that a lot of people are going to be dealing with for a long time.
Yeah, and we just missed it here, but our thoughts and prayers with everybody, obviously. But Clay, that's what I tried to. When I used to do local TV, as always, your newsroom had people from the north, and they were like, I don't understand why you guys go crazy over these snowstorms. And I said, it's not the snow, it's the ice because of the Gulf and the moisture that it puts in, and it doesn't get really cold enough for real snow. It's the ice that breaks our trees and our power lines and everything. It's the ice that's the devastation.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sitting looking out the backyard right now. It's supposed to get to 33 degrees today. We're at least getting some sunshine, but it's not really going to get warm here for another 10 days. So I think this is going to be crippling for a long time to come. And obviously, I've only seen footage of Oxford, but it seems like there's basically a pretty expansive, 100, 200-mile stretch of area that primarily got ice as opposed to snow. And Nashville is the most populous of those areas, but man, it's bad.
Yeah, it looked like people went through Oxford, downtown and the suburbs of Oxford with just a chainsaw, just cutting trees down. There's so many trees
limbs
down.
everywhere. Yeah,
crazy.
Well, go ahead, Clay.
No, I was going to say, so it's going to take a long time for everybody to recover from that. Much less seriously, let's dive in. Yeah, the Browns, obviously, it seemed like had a great deal of difficulty finding somebody who wanted to take their job. And I'm excited with what the Titans did. I think if you look at defensive and offensive sides of the ball and just said, hey, do you have a captain of the defense and do you have a captain of the offense? I know you guys know Brian Daboll well. I think we'll find out whether Cam Ward is the guy or not in year 2 with the Titans. And certainly Saleh, when it comes to getting elite play out of defenses, is about as good as you can get. So I'm at least optimistic about that hiring prospect from the Titans.
Well, Clay, the good news for Todd Monk, and back to me, he's got a Pro Bowl quarterback in Shedeur Sanders. So if I asked you what was more ridiculous, Bill Belichick not being a first-ballot Hall of Fame coach or Shedeur Sanders being a Pro Bowl quarterback? I mean, I think it's a legitimate question. What is more ludicrous?
I think they're both ridiculous. The answer on the Pro Bowl is it basically doesn't matter, and they just go down the flow chart until they find somebody who's willing to show up. I've been arguing for a while the Pro Bowl basically shouldn't exist. But to me, Bill Belichick not being a first ballot NFL Hall of Famer is far more ridiculous because I can see the scenario under which Shedeur Sanders ends up a Pro Bowler because everybody's injured, playing in the playoffs, doesn't want to go, all those things. The idea that Belichick would be not in the Hall of Fame is utterly indefensible and was intentional. Like Shedeur was basically an unintentional selection. There were no other options. The choice not to put Bill Belichick in was directly intentional and I think worse.
Clay Travis is with us, the founder of Outkick, and at Clay Travis on social media. I wanted to go back. You said you were at the Kentucky-Vanderbilt game last night. We are living in the glory years of Vanderbilt athletics right now. Like, I assume Nashville has accepted this. Like, their baseball has always been good, but basketball is back to where, it kind of was when we were growing up, and all of a sudden football can play. I mean, these really are. This is the best that Vandy athletics has ever been right now.
Yeah, I saw, in addition to Vanderbilt blowing out Kentucky last night, I think it was 80-55, and the game was basically never close. In addition to just obliterating Kentucky, I saw the Rivals rankings came out, the final ones. I'm sure you guys did too. And I believe Jared Curtis was the number 2 overall recruit in the nation, the quarterback that Vanderbilt's already got enrolled to potentially replace Diego Pavia. And I know in this day and age of the transfer portal, everybody focuses, it feels like, on recruiting a little bit less. But I think there's a decent chance that he's going to be the starting quarterback. Certainly at some point, maybe not week 1, but at some point they're going to give him the reins. And there's a lot of optimism about his ceiling. And so, I think this is about as good of a time as has ever existed for Vanderbilt athletics. And also for Vanderbilt as a institution. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to the admit rates, but it's become as hard to get into Vanderbilt now as some Ivy League schools, which I don't think has gotten a lot of attention. We're excited. Our oldest just committed to go to Vanderbilt, so we're going to have a freshman there next fall. But the degree of difficulty to get into Vanderbilt as an undergrad now, it's one of the most popular schools in the country, and I think this is sort of indicative of the rising tide of SEC boats, right? I mean, it's very difficult to get into a lot of SEC schools now. The admit rates have plummeted as people all over the nation have decided they want to come to school here. And Vanderbilt has been the biggest beneficiary as the most elite of the SEC schools. So it's really pretty extraordinary to see. And the athletics, in some ways, is just reflecting what's happening at the overall university.
But can Clark Lee, I mean, he could still go to Jeff Ruby's or Martin's Barbecue, or, I mean, he can come out to Franklin and go to Cork and Cow, and nobody knows him, right? Or is he?
I think he would get recognized decently, but I would say, one of the cultural issues that Nashville has long prided itself on is letting people who are famous have a normal life. And I think that all started with country music, because the idea was you would see country music stars all over the city, but people didn't flood them. We never really had the paparazzi. I know that's kind of faded in this day and age of social media where everybody takes their own photos, but we never really had the paparazzi, even though I would argue probably on a per capita basis, Nashville may have more famous people than almost any city in America now. Certainly it's up there with New York and LA, which are way bigger cities. But I think that extends, I think most of the coaches would tell you that extends that sort of penumbra of protectiveness of the culture surrounding music stars has kind of also translated to athletes and coaches.
You mentioned Diego Pavia, very well documented now, 5'9" and change. How well do you know Diego? And ultimately, I never thought he was going to be an NFL guy anyway. What do you think he does moving forward?
I don't. We've had Diego on a lot of Outkick shows over the years. I don't think I've ever interviewed him, so I don't know him really at all. Obviously, a lot of the people around Vanderbilt I do know, and they have said that he is just the ultimate team guy, and everybody loves him in the locker room. And so I think maybe his public persona is different than outside the locker room is different than inside the locker room, where he's a hard-working guy. He's there all the time. And what I've always heard him described as like kind of the ultimate team guy, uplifting everybody around him. So, look, 5'9" and 7'8". I mean, I would not have bet that he was shorter than Kyler Murray measured. If I remember, Kyler Murray's 5'10" and an eighth. And so I think he's got his work cut out for him. And what, frankly, is a fairly weak NFL draft, I would think somebody somewhere down the line would take a chance on him and bring him in to see if he can be a backup. And look, we've seen shorter quarterbacks, whether it's Bryce Young, whether it's Kyler Murray, at times have some measure of success. So he's a tough guy and incredibly mobile. And we'll see if anybody will give him a chance in an NFL locker room. I think one reason he sued was because he figured that was probably not likely to be the case. And I know, actually, having talked to a lot of people in the Vanderbilt alum business community, that Diego was super active there, kind of recognizing that he's probably going to have to make a living doing something other than football sooner rather than later.
Speaking of lawsuits, I'm well aware of how Clay Travis, Tennessee fan, feels about the Charles Bediako situation. But if we could set that aside, I'm interested in talking to legal. You got your law degree and you observe legal cases. This one, to me, is a little bit fascinating. Go ahead.
Look,
I think it's a fascinating case. Aside from, look, I know how you feel as a Tennessee fan. I get it. But aside from all of that, the legal side of this, to me, strikes me as a very fascinating case for legal observers.
Yeah, look, I mean, as a Tennessee fan, I think Nate Oates could trot out the Oklahoma City Thunder and Rick Barnes would beat him.
The way it has been lately,
that's kind of the story. Okay, lawyer. So the question to me that is going to have to be resolved, and leaving aside any individual player in their particular case, is what is an eligible player for purposes of college athletics? We used to never have this question, right? So for all of our lives, probably everybody watching, listening to us, we could say quite clearly, hey, you have 5 years to play for. You are eligible to enroll, and once that 5-year window is closed, you can't have ever accepted money to play professionally. You can't ever have accepted name, image, and likeness money, basically. We all understood what the rules were, and it was very clear. Now no one has any clue what the eligibility rules are. And what I would say is we've opened up the door to a lot of Europeans who were paid, right, at some point in time to play in European basketball or in, variety of other different foreign basketball organizations. So a lot of those guys are now eligible to play. And the Baylor loophole that was exploited and has been now like basically driven a car through by Alabama is even if you played in the G League and even if you went through the entire NBA draft process, you are eligible according to this new standard that is being applied unless you signed an actual NBA contract and played in NBA games. And I think most fans, irrespective of who they root for, as a general rule, agree with me that eligibility standard is broken and that it's being exploited, and that is not a positive thing for college athletics. And so the challenge that they have, the NCAA and all these different institutions, is one, figuring out what the rules are, but two, the NCAA is so afraid of getting hit with antitrust lawsuits that basically they are trying to stay out of all of these disputes in an effort to avoid getting sued and losing another case. So that's kind of the big picture, perspective. What I would say is unique, if you wanted to go into this particular case, what I would say is unique about this is you had a player enroll in college, leave, go through the entire draft process, not get drafted, play for multiple NBA G League teams, and then decide a couple of years later to come back. And so that's different than the foreign players who you can argue whether or not you like that aspect, but it's different than the foreign players who never enrolled at the school, never went through the NBA process and coming in. So the Alabama ruling that they got is more expansive than anything that we have seen at all, and is more akin to the Baylor situation, except even further, because I don't think the Baylor player, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, ever was enrolled and playing in games at Baylor. Anyway, and by the way, if the Alabama exception were to become the rule, right? If it's the exception that becomes the rule, as often is the case because everybody copies, then you've got all sorts of different sports that could be in play here. For instance, if you never played in Major League Baseball, could you decide to come back and play college baseball?
Yes.
I mean,
Why not?
I don't know if the G League doesn't count as professional, does single A ball, does rookie league count? Can you come back? I mean, that would be one. There are obviously a lot of people in the NFL world who if you guys have a team in Birmingham, if you play for whatever it is, what do they call it now? The UFL or whatever the league is called.
Yeah.
I mean, if you play UFL football but not NFL football, are you eligible to come back and play college football? I think, again, there are just a whole bevy of other exploitable aspects of this exemption that could apply in a variety of different sports. And so this is just part and parcel of the mess that college athletics has found itself in now.
Just a real quick follow-up. If the NCAA comes in and says, which they did, we'd prefer a different judge on this case, and Bediako's side is like, yeah, we don't care. We are not at all opposed to that. On the legal side, is that an indication they think our case is so slam dunk we don't care which judge has it?
Well, so this gets into complexities. There are conflict of interest rules that apply for all lawyers and for all judges. And leaving aside diving into the particulars of this judge's relationship with Alabama and his family and those things, sometimes judges will recuse themselves, not because they think that this is definitely a conflict of interest under the model code that all lawyers and judges are held to, but because the appearance of impropriety is so significant, it would give off the indication that you could not judge this case in an impartial manner. In other words, just the appearance of impropriety can sometimes dictate that judges step down or that individuals involved in cases could end up with a different judge. So I wouldn't take any particular analysis of this in terms of whether you're fighting to stay in front of one judge or the other. And again, on appeal, as this process plays itself out, if I were advising this player, I would just want to drag this on as long as possible. Right. So the snowstorm helps. You want the status quo to remain in place. So if you can stay in this position where, for weeks there aren't official rulings coming down, that benefits your client because you like the rule that is in place right now. You like the ruling that is the law. And so, yes, it could be endorsed and reaffirmed by another judge, but I'd rather not take that risk, and I'd be trying to get as much of a delay as possible. So that would be kind of my disposition if I were trying to make sure that he was able to play in as many games as possible.
At Clay Travis on social media is where you follow him, founder of Outkick. He's on Fox as well. Clay, thank you for the time. Stay safe up there, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, by the way, one thing that I would be worried about if I'm an Alabama fan is what is the NCAA's disposition going to be on this if you start to get contradictory rulings?
Yeah.
In other words, if you think you got a good team and Alabama does without him, is it worth risking, being able to count these games as wins as a part of your resume? I'm not sure, frankly, he's a good enough player to roll the dice on the entire season over if you start to get contradictory legal rulings.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens. Who knows where this goes. All right, Clay, thank you. Have a great week.
Hey, y'all too. See ya.
All right, man. Take care. Clay with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
And that entire half hour brought to you by our friends at CPAP Plus Sleep Home Alabama, LT.
Yeah, you need that quality 8+ hours of sleep every single night. If you're not getting it, not good for the health. Our friends, the O'Neill brothers, they can help out. Woody and Joe, 5 locations throughout the state of Alabama, 3 right here in Birmingham, including Pelham, Highway 280, and Trussville. Stop by today at CPAP Plus, where you're going to find the best service and equipment all in stock, ready for you, with hundreds of 5-star Google reviews. Trust CPAP Plus for all of your CPAP needs. CPAP Plus, where every night matters. For more information about all of their equipment at CPAP Plus, go to o'neillmed.com. That is ONEAL med.com.
And after giving it your all on the field or the court or in the stands, treat yourself to something tasty with our friends at Culver's. From juicy butter burgers to creamy, fresh frozen custard, crispy crinkle-cut fries, gooey golden cheese curds, there is something for everyone in your crew to enjoy, win or lose. Culver's is the perfect place to celebrate the sweet memories you'll make all season long. So when in Birmingham, stop by the Culver's on Stadium Trace or Tattersall Park and make this game day a delicious one. Culver's, welcome to delicious.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777. Or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical offices, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels, January 30th through February 1st at the BJCC. With customs, classics, hot rods, and more. Don't miss the Golden Riders motorcycle stunt team, plus BMX stunt teams performing outrageous stunts live. Friday, meet WWE star Rikishi. Saturday is Kevin Mack from Counts Customs. And Sunday, meet TV host Courtney Hansen. Bring the kids for free Hot Wheels racing, costume characters, rides, and more. Get discount tickets at all O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Details at worldofwheels.net.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. Stop by the
oh
New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Back with you on the Next Round. We'll get to LT's 4 downs here in just a second. Really interesting in basketball last night. Alabama beat Missouri 90-64. Auburn in action tonight against Texas, 6 o'clock down at Neville Arena. A couple other notes. Imagine being a Duke student. Forrester, can you pull up that video? This was from last week, before the winter storm. But everyone's familiar with K-Ville. Everybody camps out for tickets and everything at different hotbeds of basketball, like at Auburn now. But at Duke, the students have been doing this for a year. This is K-Ville. Now, again, this is end of last week when the weather's good. Now, imagine the weather this weekend, what it's going to be all this week, and into a more Arctic freeze next week. This camping out at K-Ville is for the North Carolina game at Cameron Indoor. That game's on March 7th.
Whoa, wait a minute. What?
It's on March the 7th.
Jim, it says January 28th right here.
March the 7th is what you're camping out for, and this started last week. And the rule of K-Ville is
39 days, I think.
The rule in K-Ville is you get 12 people per tent. You're allowed, you don't have to all be in there, but 12 tickets per tent. And one person has to be in that tent 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So if they come a knocking and nobody's in there, tent goes and you lose your tickets.
That's right. You lose your space in line.
But you got 12 to rotate through 39 days.
You got 12 people to rotate on and off shifts, but somebody has to be in there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no matter the weather. Now, I don't know if this Arctic freeze has changed the rules of K-Ville and they let them tap out.
That's not exactly true.
What?
There's a minimum temperature. It has to be at least 32 degrees.
Okay.
And otherwise you get a pass. You don't stay in the
So if it goes below 32, you get a pass.
So what's happened here is they've looked at the extended forecast. They're like, there's going to be at least 15 nights we don't have to sleep down
So
there.
these 39 days, half of that, and then basically at that point, everybody's got to do 1 day. Everybody's got to do 24 hours.
No.
Still impressive. Still impressive.
I mean, they started it before the cold, and that's if it gets to 33 as the high during the day, you're supposed to be in there. Is that what you're telling me, Forrester?
That is correct.
At least one person, yeah. So, but there are other home games between now and then.
One of the great traditions of basketball, and you guys are going to just blow through it right there.
No, I'm not blowing through it. Nobody else.
Oh, okay. Now,
No,
if it's below 32,
No, I'm willing to say, I will say this without reservation. There's not another fan base in America that would do this.
This is idiotic, though.
Nope, there's not. There's not. You can't. Jim, you're about to give me one. There is not another fan base in America.
Oh, I'm not. I thought they camped out for every game. I did.
Oh, I did too, but I thought it was like 24, 48 hours before.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they had to do that to get in to see them play Louisville last weekend or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What happens to the other home games between now and North Carolina? These people get first dibs?
I do not know. We'll get to 4 downs now, brought to you by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living, part of our coverage today. Way to Wellness is there for you to help jumpstart your weight loss. A planforme.com. Leslie and her board-certified team will help you lose a little weight, maintain that weight loss, maybe correct some things in your life, like maybe blood pressure, sleep apnea. That can be sometimes diet-related or can be improved with a diet. To get all the details at aplanforme.com. Injection therapy, meal replacements, they have it all. No contracts, no sign-up fees, and the first consultation is free. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living, and it's 4 downs time, LT.
First down.
What happens first? Sean Miller gets Texas to a Final Four, or Pete Golding gets Ole Miss back to the college football playoffs?
I'm going to bet on playoffs. Just the playoffs for Pete.
Just the playoffs. It's not that easy, right? They just did it for the first time ever in program history.
Yeah, it's not that easy, but they do return, especially if they can get a favorable ruling for Trinidad Chambliss, a large portion of the team that just went to the playoffs. I'm going to go ball in hand here, Dunaway, with Pete Golding if he could get Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah, I think it's tremendously hard to get to the Final Four, no matter who you are, where you are. So I'll go eventually beating Texas to the Final Four will be a Ole Miss making a 16 or 24-team playoff. So I'll take Ole Miss.
I think I would take Ole Miss. I don't feel great about it, though.
No, I mean, neither one is an appealing choice at this point, but, I mean, Ole Miss was just there. If they get Chambliss back.
Well, and I've only seen one Final Four with Texas in it, and that was back in 2003.
Yeah, the Kevin Durant-led Texas? No. They went out in the first round.
TJ Ford.
Yeah, it was TJ Ford at point guard.
Second down.
Dante Culpepper, 49 years old today. Ultimately, what one quarterback decision affected the history of Alabama football more? Tebow going to Florida or Culpepper going to Miami?
Culpepper to Miami. Tebow to Florida.
Either way, you don't get Nick Saban, I don't think, Jim.
I don't know how quick of an impact with the people around him Tebow would have made.
Yeah, but I think long enough to give Shula another year, which throws the cycle completely out of whack, right?
Yeah, I mean, all it would have needed is enough wins that Shula survives. Which, as good as Tebow was, I'm going to say he could have gotten Alabama to 8 or 9 wins, which survives Shula probably. Here again, I'll say, even if the Dolphins get Drew Brees, I think fundamentally Nick Saban did not like being an NFL head coach. If the Dolphins get Drew Brees and they win a ton of games, Nick Saban is the type, I believe, that even with a ton of wins was like, I don't like what I'm doing. I like coaching college better. I'll still even go back to college. See what I'm saying? Like, I don't – it wasn't wins and losses to me that ran Nick Saban out of the NFL. It was like Nick Saban didn't like coaching in the NFL. He did not like the fact that players had it, and they did. Dolphins players had it in their contracts. They didn't have to do conditioning. And there are reports that they taunted Nick Saban about that. Like when players were having to do conditioning, they would joke with Nick Saban about the fact, I ain't over there running because I don't have to be. It's in my contract. He hates stuff like that.
Third down.
Greg Popovich, 77 years old today. Ultimately better career, Popovich or Sean McVay?
Boy, I saw him on the court the other night.
Looks 77.
Yeah, aged really quickly there. I mean, Pop doesn't get enough credit probably. I'll go Popovich. I mean, won a lot of games, spread out over a long period of time, different iterations of that.
I think it is so much easier to win at a high level in basketball, though.
It is.
I mean, once you get your Tim Duncan and your David Robinson and your...
But that's just it. He did it once without Tim Duncan. Then he did it with Tim Duncan. I mean, It seemed like it was a variety
He didn't ever do it without Tim Duncan.
He never did?
I thought he did it with David Robinson.
The first ones were
before Tim
David
Duncan.
Robinson, and Tim Duncan was already on that team?
Tim Duncan was a rookie the first one they won.
So all 5 of his were with Duncan?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not realize
Yeah,
that.
I thought only the last 4 were.
Yeah, I thought they had one was just David Robinson.
I am almost positive in 1999 when they won the first one against the Knicks, he was a
rookie?
Yeah.
You watch more NBA than I do.
Yeah, I mean, I'll believe you on this one, but I'm with Jim. I thought he did that first one without Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan has 5 NBA
There's your
championships,
easy
99, 03, 05, 07, and 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sean McVay, boy, he left one out there this year.
Yeah.
This is going to live with you for a while,
I
isn't it?
can't get over it, man.
I know. I've noticed.
4th down.
Now, some of the youngsters out there might not know who Alan Alda is. 90 years old today, Alan Alda.
I would not know he's still alive.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Very good actor, but kind of got, once he started MASH, kind of was zoned in there. But if I ask you, what was the best 70s or 80s sitcom, in your opinion? Because TV is so bad back then compared to what it is now.
I would probably go Cheers. I mean, it went 80s into 90s, so I don't know if it has to stay in the 80s to count for you, but it started in the 80s.
I mean, MASH was pretty good back in the day.
I enjoyed MASH.
Sanford and Son was pretty funny, I thought.
Very good.
All in the Family, probably before its time.
All in the Family. I will still go Cheers. I liked Cheers when I was in, middle school and high school.
It was never my favorite. It really went into the 90s?
Yeah, I think the
early
last
90s.
year of Cheers was like 92 or 93.
Really?
I think so.
Was Mork and Mindy 80s, or was
That
that
was
70s
early 80s.
going into 80s?
Yeah, 70s going into 80s.
Okay.
Did you like that?
Yeah, I did.
It was so goofy.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe Robin Williams became what he became from that sitcom. That was the starting point.
You know, the network had to hire a translator that spoke 4 different languages because Robin Williams would speak his alien language and try to slip in curse words in different languages and try to slip it past the censors.
That sounds like him.
That's a MASH for me, but I didn't really love Mork and Mindy, or I liked Happy Days.
Did you?
Yeah.
Were you a big Love Boat guy?
In the 70s. Didn't like Love Boat. I don't think that would be a comedy.
The Love Boat had to be a comedy.
I don't know what else it would have been.
What a drama.
Yeah.
I think it was, I don't know what it was. But, I had murder and mystery. Fantasy Island wasn't a comedy, but that was a good show back then.
No.
Yeah.
And Dallas wasn't a comedy.
Yeah. That is our 4 downs today, brought to you in part by our friends at Walk-Ons, where every day is game day, whether it's a post-win celebration, drinks after work, or taking the family for some made-from-scratch favorites. Walk-Ons, your go-to for good times and wall-to-wall TVs, craft beer, and cocktails, plus bold flavors for fans of all ages, from the melty mozzarella logs to the Hall of Fame-level burgers. Stop by Walk-Ons today or order online in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro in Trustful, Greystone, and Stadium Trace. It's game on at Walk-Ons. First of all, Eddie Conyers passed away. We haven't mentioned it on the show yet. A lot of us reacted on social media yesterday. 97 years old. Amazing that he was the official that was at Alabama practices that Bear Bryant brought in 1961, and he did it all the way until he passes away at the age of 97. He even did it for Kalen DeBoer and all the coaches in between. So that's pretty crazy. And I sent out a story yesterday that Lee Garner did back when I was at CBS 42. He was a 2-time war veteran of World War II and the Korean War. And he was a Navy radio man. And the things that are ingrained in your memory. He joked with Lee when he sat down to do the interview. She met him when he did the flight of honors to Washington, D.C., from Tuscaloosa to see the World War II and Korean War memorial. And she followed him up there, shot some video of all of them, and got to know him. And then she did an interview with him, and he's like, I could send radio code of your name right now. I could spell your name in radio code. And instantly he goes, and he starts doing it on camera. He was 90 then when he did the interview 7 years ago. At 90, just on the spur of finding out Lee Garner, he could still remember that code.
That's
from,
crazy,
from when he was
man.
18.
I guess muscle memory, though, like I've said it before.
Enough, yeah.
The only thing I've ever retained from school was typing.
Yeah.
The ability to type.
Yeah, you
and
do
so
it
I
enough.
guess you could get away from that for years. And
But can you? I mean, just to those code guys that did that, to have that kind of to do
A
that
lot of pressure.
under that pressure
Yeah.
and got to be exactly right with it and to do it
Yeah.
like that, just really good. So we remember Eddie Conyers for
97? Is that right?
97.
Yeah, if you want to see the impact he made, go to Alabama on Instagram. Did a post. I think Scott just showed it. And go in the comments and look at the players that are commenting. Like, these are NFL guys that are still playing it. Tyler Buddy Book and all those guys in the NFL commenting about him. That's the type of impact he made on those guys. Like, he was just a fixture at practices, to Jim's point, from the time that Coach Bryant was there. And just a genuinely nice man. I don't know, how much time you guys, I didn't spend a lot of time around him, but I was around him a couple times. And to hear the stories he told, and just a genuinely nice man. And one of my favorite stories was, I think it was Trent Richardson, maybe, one of the Nick Saban backs ran him over in practice one day. And everybody thought Nick Saban was going to chew out the back for hitting him, and he chewed out Eddie Conyers for getting in the way.
It was Greg McElroy, actually.
Was it McElroy that ran him over?
McElroy accidentally ran him over.
Could have killed him.
Yeah, he's like, Eddie, why are you right there? You go get killed.
They
And
thought he was dead, and Saban told him, "Are you hurt?" And he's like, "No." And then get up, do your job.
That's right. Saban chewed him out.
Yeah, it was G-Mac did that. Scrambled the wrong way, I guess. Fooled Eddie at age 90. Just a terrific part of college football yesteryear. And I had never heard the Sam Darnold grandfather story before until I was watching the Rams and Seahawks. But
I don't know if I've heard this.
Oh, my goodness. You have.
Yeah, this is
I'm
pretty
sure.
crazy. Yeah.
His grandfather's name is Dick Hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Dick Hammer.
Quite a name.
Amazing.
Yeah, it is an amazing name, yes.
Was the Marlboro Man of all the print magazines in the 1970s. But before that.
They did this a lot back in his SC days.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because Dick Hammer was an SC legend. He started all 34 games for the 1954 USC men's basketball team that made it to the Final Four. I think it's the last time USC's been to the Final Four. He was so good at basketball, he decided to start playing volleyball at USC and ended up making it on the 1964 Summer Olympic team. So, which was crazy. He was so good at another sport that he became an Olympian, and men's volleyball very competitive against the Russians back then in Olympic. Then he decided to get away from sports, and he went into acting. And I used to watch this TV show called Emergency. And he went to a local fire station in Los Angeles and sort of embedded himself with that local emergency responding fire department to learn his character. And then he was the captain for emergency, the paramedics that would get called out to cases. He was the captain on that TV show. But he fell in love with the fire department so much when he was being embedded in the show that he gave up acting and went and worked full time for LA Fire Department, and that's when he got the Marlboro gig.
I mean, he looks like the Marlboro Man,
he
doesn't
does.
he?
Well, he was the Marlboro Man of my childhood.
That photo Scott threw up there, I mean, he looks like a cigarette.
Yep.
He looks like a guy like, does this guy smoke? Does this guy smoke?
I was trying to tell Maddie, we met one of my fraternity brothers, shout out Wade Welch, lives in Seattle for the last 20 years. By the way, listens to the show, didn't realize that. Got a couple of Seattle listeners, but we were talking about, how amazing it is. You smell weed everywhere in the city of Seattle, but nobody smokes cigarettes. Like, there is no chance you can find a person smoking a cigarette up there. But we were telling her, it was probably 9 out of 10 people smoked cigarettes back in the 90s. I mean, like when you'd be at a bar.
9 out of 10 seems deep.
I mean, I never was a smoker.
But
I know you weren't, but I'm just saying it seemed like a very, very high number.
Yeah, when that photo was taken, when Dick, I don't know what year Dick Hammer was the Marlboro Man.
It was in the 70s.
Yeah, I bet it was closer to 9 out of 10 in the 70s. A lot of people smoked in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, I would say this, LT, to your point on the marijuana. I saw this graphic over the weekend that which one are we, Alpha now?
So I'm Gen Z, and then the people younger than me are Gen Alpha.
So Gen Z is of the drinking age, that they are costing the alcohol business, I think it's about $20 billion a year. That every generation before this, the boomers drank $25 billion of alcohol sales a year in the U.S. It was $23 billion for the other two, and this one's barely hitting $3 billion in alcohol sales.
Yeah.
Because of the
THC?
THC.
Yeah, I believe that. But let them get jobs first. And then the stresses that come with jobs, they'll start drinking.
They'll circle
By
back
the way,
around.
my sabbatical starts today. I've got till February 27th.
After the Super Bowl?
Well, I just said when the Rams season ends, hoping it would be in February that I was going to shut it down. I couldn't do it with travel, but starting today, yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, Bama and Bourbon, a new one coming out today where I will stare at the bourbon and stare at Suttles drinking the bourbon.
You'll sniff it?
Yeah, I'll sniff it.
Smells
all that
great.
kind of stuff.
Would you take a break on Super Bowl Sunday?
No.
No?
I might not even watch this year.
Oh,
Seriously.
you're going to watch the Super Bowl.
I'm being
Don't
serious.
give me
I might
this.
not.
That's bold. Lance, you're going to watch the Super Bowl.
We'll see.
Yeah, you'll watch
Well, I
the
mean,
Super Bowl.
should we cover up these screens in black every time they show highlights of the Seahawks?
You're
Rams
going to
game?
watch this.
They did a
Is this
recap
the-
on
is-
TV2 a few seconds ago. And I
Yeah,
was like,
it is, Brown.
I caught you glancing.
What was the question? Is it the hardest you've
The
ever taken?
hardest loss, yeah.
Was it because you were there?
No, just because this team, I don't understand how they lost 6 games. I have no idea. They were way
Poorly
too
coached.
good.
Poorly coached.
I mean, look, clock management was so bad in the end of that first half. But yeah, this is going to be the most difficult. I don't think they'll get back.
Oh, Lance, don't. This.
I'll help you out. I don't think they do either. Our friends at Bojangles bringing you one more thing in this segment. Tell us about Bojangles.
You can make a bow time at Bojangles and go right now and get that chicken and rice bowl that is back for a limited time at Bojangles. It starts with that hearty scoop of their dirty rice. They follow it up with a spoonful of slow-cooked Cajun pintos plus a layer of melty cheese. And finally, your choice of chicken. It is hot. It is hearty. It is all yours for just $7.49. Don't wait too long. The bowl is only back for a limited time. So if you're hungry, you know where to go. Drive-thru is always open with our friends at Bojangles. Make it bow time.
I do think it's pretty crazy, Lance, that we're sitting here and Sam Darnold is the guy that's the first USC quarterback. But I'm shocked that there are only 3 other guys that had a shot to get there. 26 of the NFL quarterbacks that were drafted out of USC, only 3 others made it to the conference championship.
Okay, I know Sanchez did.
Twice, 09 and 10.
Boy, that was all defense, so it was not what Mark Sanchez was doing.
So Pat Hayden got kind of ripped off.
Twice, 76 and 78.
Yeah, but in 79 when he breaks his thumb, and I still think they would have been fine when Vince Ferragamo took over. So he probably would have been the first to a Super Bowl.
And then Carson Palmer, 2015.
With the Bengals.
And according to my research, they're 0-5.
With the Cardinals, actually.
Oh, with the Cardinals, that's right, yeah.
0-5 is their record until Sam Darnold won this past weekend. I couldn't find another USC quarterback if my research was right.
I think you're
that
right.
That played in the conference championship.
Because Leinart never made it that far.
You know, when when Carson Palmer, so that was with the Cardinals. When he was with the Bengals, remember that first play got rolled up on?
Yeah.
Where they were hosting that game?
Right?
Yeah,
in
and the
divisional
Steelers
round?
ended up going to the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, that was was it wild card or divisional round? Do you remember?
It was first round. It was wild card.
Wild card round, yeah. But that was a really good Bengals team, yeah.
Yeah, pretty crazy that that Sam Darnold is the first USC quarterback, and all those others, some of them never even had a chance. That's a pretty tradition-rich quarterback family there at Southern Cal.
Yeah, I will tell you, man, I would be stubborn if I was a quarterback taken early like a Zach Wilson. Now that you see what Sam Darnold has become and what you see what Baker Mayfield has become, like just because you get drafted by a bad organization and you kind of flame out, Jets, Browns, like I would be really stubborn about continuing to try to find my way.
Yeah, if your desire is to look foolish, give super hot takes on NFL quarterbacks like when they get drafted or when there are trades or free agent moves, because it is the hardest position in all of sports to predict. Like you say, your worst prediction of all time was Pat Mahomes was a terrible draft pick by the Kansas City Chiefs. Like everybody has done it, but all these resurfaced, all these talking heads that were like, I don't know what the Seahawks are doing getting rid of Geno Smith. Like, are you going to do better than Geno Smith? And then when they got Sam Darnold, I was like, oh, washed up Sam
Well,
Darnold.
have you guys
Geno Smith for Sam Darnold.
Talked about Ryan Grubb and how bad it looks for Grubb.
It does look bad for Grubb, unfortunately.
Just because, talking to Seattle Seahawks fans, boy, they did not like Grubb.
Yeah. I mean, their offense flourished after he left. I mean, you can't deny that.
McDonald is a defensive coach.
guy, yeah.
So the offensive coordinator, who do they bring in?
Clint Kubiak. And Clint Kubiak.
Which is remarkable. He's not going to get a job.
He would have gotten a job if they would have lost, probably.
That's true, but nobody's going to wait for him.
Yeah. Well, there's
two left, right?
Talks that maybe Las Vegas is waiting on him.
Oof. Boy, I think I don't know.
I mean, he'd take the job.
I think I'd take a beat. I think I'd stick around and coach Sam Darnold another year and see what else is out there.
And there was another streak that ended this week. Senior Bowl's going on. You heard the guys talk about Diego Pavia being 5'9", 7'8". First time since 1972 there's not a Florida State player playing in the Senior Bowl. 1972.
Senior Bowl or Super Bowl?
Senior Bowl.
Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
It's a long streak, but it's one of those, you had gone 1972 to now with, a 5-star in your signing class or a guy going in the first 2 rounds of the draft and it fell off, it'd be one thing. I don't think people really care about this, though, but it's an amazing streak.
I'm just saying that's a long time.
It's crazy.
I think it's another indicator because I don't know if you can pull it up because I'd love LT's point, the on-3 way too early All-American team for next year. And Brown brought up this point, and this sort of is to this as well, how dispersed talent is getting. Now you got a Florida State player not in the Senior Bowl, not one's invited. And then On3 Sports sent out the way too early All-American team, Chris Lowe, putting this out. And the variety of different logos you see on there, there's not an Alabama player on there. There's just, I think, one Georgia player.
One Georgia, one LSU,
one Ohio
State.
One Ohio State.
No Alabama.
No Alabama. One Auburn guy.
You got 2 Indiana guys. I mean, it's
a couple of Oregon guys.
Yeah.
But there's so many more different logos on that graphic.
There it is.
Than ever before. I mean, look at that.
Look at the variety of logos, Lance. Like used to when the preseason.
A couple of Ole Miss right off the bat.
I know.
Now, is one going to be eligible, though?
Yeah. That's what. Yeah. The first-team quarterback, he's got to win a court case just to play.
Yeah. And I haven't gone through to see how many of those actually transferred from a different school to a school.
But you remember when the preseason All-American team came out, it was flooded with Georgia guys, Alabama guys, Ohio State guys. And there's not an Alabama. There's one Georgia. There's one Ohio State. There's one LSU.
Yeah.
I mean,
that is pretty amazing.
Talent is spread more than it ever has been in college football, I think. High-end talent.
Yeah.
I mean, this is 100% the result of the transfer portal. 100%. Like you telling me Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, Ryan Day wouldn't have recruited half those guys, chopped up, half of that list, and they're all on their campus. But not anymore. Man, you don't see playing time, you're gone. I mean, 2 Indiana guys. When's the last time 2 Indiana guys have been on a preseason All-American team?
Yeah.
Not even this year.
Yeah, I know. They won the national championship.
Look, there's a Mississippi State offensive lineman.
Yep.
A cornerback at Mississippi State. You don't think there was a market for him to get outbid, to tamper with and pull him into the portal?
Well, how about the Troy punter?
And he hung on. The Troy punter.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you pull him out of the portal?
You would think.
Yep. It's just, Mississippi State was able to keep that guy there.
But
Cincinnati.
But I think we probably could tell you right now the preseason top 5. Maybe not in a
teams?
specific order. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would agree with you on that.
You got Indiana in it?
It's funny you say that because that was the initial thought after I said it. Where do I have Indiana? It'd be 5 or 6.
Yep.
It'd be close.
Do you have Ohio State in it, I assume?
I would, yeah.
Do you have Oregon in it?
I would have Oregon in it.
Okay.
We're running out of spots.
We're running out of spots quick.
Right. You only got 5 to give.
Yeah. When we come back, best day in college football on the schedule now that the Big Ten's released their schedule. The ACC, the SEC has been out for a while. And we'll talk more about quarterbacks. ESPN predicting the starting quarterback for every power conference team. The SEC, I'll throw out the name they project to be the starter. You tell me better quarterback situation, worse quarterback situation from last year. And I guess you can leave the door open that, they're all too early to tell. So I'll hold you to it, either better or worse quarterback situation from last year. All that's coming up. The show today being brought to you by our friends at Inverness Country Club. Tell us about Inverness.
Inverness Country Club, they've got memberships that fit everyone. Best days happen there. Newly renovated clubhouse, dining, fitness center. Again, maybe you play golf. The wife's going to love it because of the social aspect, and childcare is such a big plus. You want to drop the kid right there on site?
A couple of viewers want me to point out the women also can play golf.
Yeah, I've said that before, though.
I know.
Yeah.
We get a couple of them that are like, they only hear.
I got to be honest, though.
They can play golf. The women, if they're not in the kitchen, can go to the pool.
When I'm out there, though, I see more guys.
Oh, no, there's definitely more guys.
Oh,
but
yeah.
there's
Any
some
golf course in America.
There's some good women's groups.
Yeah, but they do have women's tees at any.
Yes,
They do, yeah.
Yep. But for the women out there, the child care is such a big part of it. But again, ICCalabama.com. Make sure you check out that website for all the information and to book a tour with our friend Aaron.
At Central State Bank, they're not just opening accounts, they're opening relationships. Family-owned, community-focused, built on trust for more than 100 years, serving Shelby County, Tallapoosa County, and all of Central Alabama with local decisions and personal service that feels like home. So whether you're starting a business, buying a car, or planning for tomorrow, every step of the way, Central State Bank is with you. Central State Bank, rooted in community, driven by relationships. Member FDIC.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
We interrupt this program for breaking news. From the Gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels, January 30th through February 1st at the BJCC with customs, classics, hot rods, and more. Don't miss the Golden Riders motorcycle stunt team, plus BMX stunt teams performing outrageous stunts live. Friday, meet WWE star Rikishi. Saturday is Kevin Mack from Counts Customs. And Sunday, meet TV host Courtney Hansen. Bring the kids for free Hot Wheels racing, costume characters, rides, and more. Get discount tickets at all O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Details at worldofwheels.net.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time. It's bow time.
The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Our friends at Champy's bring you the final hour of the show every day. Champy'sChicken.com. Chance Bucky McMillan joins us a little bit later on. He's had some good Southern fried chicken before. If you want the best, I think, in the area, it's always Sterling. Always Highway 119 in Alabaster and Champy's Chicken. Brined overnight, cooked to order. Hand-cut chicken fingers. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, all the great sides. Such a cozy, warm atmosphere right there in the same location for over a decade. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Champy's Chicken. Bucky McMillan, first place, Texas A&M. Maybe with us this hour, expected maybe around 11:30ish.
That's according to Bucky McMillan. Yes, he said he would join us at 11:30. We'll see.
So we'll get to that coming up a little bit later on. The schedules are out for all of the college football major college teams. One date pops out for Stuart Mandel, November 7th, 2026.
Okay.
On that day, you have, what's it called, the Holy War?
BYU, Utah?
BYU, Utah. Pretty good day there, right?
All right.
Okay, let's go in the SEC. Georgia at Ole Miss.
It's become a really, really big game based on this past season.
Alabama at LSU.
Always a big game. Or a big game, Phil.
Miami at Notre Dame.
Ooh,
oh, yeah.
That's primetime NBC.
Great game this past year.
Primetime NBC, wouldn't you say? So probably Bama, LSU, and Miami, Notre Dame, primetime head-to-head.
And on that day, Oregon at Ohio State.
Big noon kick.
It's going to be hard to beat that day of college football.
Yeah, it really is. And where does LSU, Alabama come into the mix? I saw our buddy Peter Burns tweeting out, I think it was yesterday, that this might not be one of the top 4 or 5 anticipated games for LSU fans.
Wait, what?
Oh, I would say Lane Kiffin.
See if I can find that tweet. But, yeah, Peter Burns sent it out yesterday.
I would say LSU Ole Miss because of his return to Auburn. It's
no
easily
doubt.
number one.
100%. I'm fine with that one.
Okay, what else?
If they play...
They play Georgia?
If they play Texas, I think Sark and Kiffin battling each other would be of interest. But to me, Alabama, LSU, and everything that goes with that's going to rank pretty high.
LSU opens with
Dabo
Clemson,
and Clemson,
but there's no way that's in front of Alabama. At Ole Miss, week 3. That's their most anticipated LSU
no
game.
doubt.
I grant you that
because we'll be burning Lane Kiffin and effigy.
That's
on
right.
the Grove.
Yeah, everything. They play Texas A&M week 4 at home. I don't think that is in front of Alabama.
I wouldn't think it is already.
Your other conference games at Kentucky State, at Auburn, then Bama after the bye at home. Texas the next week at home. Boy, how about that back-to-back? You get Bama and Texas at home.
Yeah, I'll give Texas being bigger.
Okay, and then at Tennessee, at Arkansas. So at worst, Bama LSU is your third biggest game.
Yeah. I mean, Kiffin going back to Tennessee, he's done that a couple of times now.
Yeah, that's old news.
Yeah.
Well, that's a heck of a stretch, though. Host Bama, host Texas, and go to Tennessee.
Yeah, that's why we played Verge Arsbury yesterday. That stretch of schedule for LSU. It's not a schedule that's an easy path to the playoffs.
No, and I saw Ohio State's yesterday, and that's the first time where you really look at an Ohio State schedule and you're like, that is a really, really difficult schedule. Have you guys looked at Ohio State?
Not, Lance. So
they go on the road to Texas.
Yeah.
So you look at it and you say Ohio State plays a really, really difficult schedule.
I mean, they've got 6 really difficult games.
All right, so they're at Texas week 2.
That's a very difficult game, obviously.
Their first conference game is week 3, host Illinois.
Nope.
At Iowa, week 4.
Yeah, that's a really tough game.
Yeah, host Maryland, then at Indiana, which that's a tough game. Coming off the bye, they're at USC. That's a difficult game.
That's really tough. Yeah. That's going to be a top 20 team.
Host Oregon the next week, a very difficult game. Northwestern at Nebraska, and then finish hosting Michigan. Yeah, that's a better schedule than they normally have.
6 losable games on there.
Yeah.
When's the last time you could ever say that with Ohio State?
It's been forever.
Yeah.
It's been forever.
I'll grant you, that's a much better Ohio State.
And again, back to the preseason All-American team. How many Ohio State logos were there? One with Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, you know who that's good for is Joel Klatt, because he does a lot of these games. So the better Ohio State schedule is, the better it is for the big noon kick.
He does. Okay, ESPN projects all the starting quarterbacks in the SEC. Are they better quarterback situation or not? It'll be our spotlight. Before we do the spotlight, though, tell us about Crane U, LT.
Yeah, our friends at Crane U want to let you know, maybe you've thought about a new profession out there. Well, they are the best in the business. Let them give you the training you need. If you're looking for that new career or need further training to advance your current one, our friends at Crane U offer the comprehensive state-of-the-art, fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes, overhead lifts, or forklift training. If you want to use your own equipment, the team at Crane U will come to you. On-site, on-location training offered nationwide. Make the job easier, job site safer. Crane U also offers certification, safety inspections to ensure the safest environment possible. Classes available monthly, so call or visit our friends at Crane U. When you call Crane U at 855-CRANE-U and you're talking to either Nicole or Fran or any of the fine folks up there, mention the next round and 10% off all the great services. For more information, craneu.com.
The College Football Spotlight.
It is the Shannara Spotlight, presented each day by our guy, Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys. This is the man that he and his crew have recovered more than $2 billion for their clients. That is billion with a B. How have they done that? They have done that by following some simple core values that Alexander has: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. That has led to recovering $2 billion. Headquartered right here in Birmingham for more than 25 years, because it is his home, Alexander Shannara. More than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members. You can see more at Shannara.com when you're in need for an attorney for anything. Shannara.com, Shannara.com.
All right, so SEC quarterback projections, better quarterback situation or not? I'll start at the bottom alphabetically and work our way up. And it'll be interesting to what you say first with Vanderbilt. 5-star true freshman quarterback Jared Curtis projected to be the starter. Second best player in the portal.
Not even close.
Or not in the portal, in recruiting.
Yeah. This is going to be a big drop-off. And this kid might end up being a stud. It might end up being the best in Vanderbilt history. But the fact is, we just saw the best in Vanderbilt history.
Yeah, that's going to be a drop-off. And this kid eventually could be better than Pavia. But it is going to initially be a drop-off. It's got to be.
At Texas A&M, Marcel Reed is back. Can Marcel Reed be better than he was last year?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, Elko is gambling that he can, because they fought to keep him.
Yeah, I mean, look, he threw for over 3,000 yards, which it just seemed like he got much better as a passer.
Your problem was, Lance, when he was bad, he was really bad. It was a mini version of Jalen Milroe. Like, there were times at Alabama, Jalen Milroe looked like the overall number one pick, but when it was bad, it was really bad.
Casey Concepcion is gone, so loses a little bit on the edge there. I still think he might be able to be better, though.
Yeah, I would want to go push. You won't allow us to go push, so I'll go slightly better.
Arch Manning is back, and the projected starter at Texas. His foot surgery went well. Preventative foot surgery, should be good to go, no problem.
Well, man, ended up completing over 61% of his passes, over 3,100 passing yards. And more importantly, only 7 interceptions on the season, and you can see what he can do with his legs. He got better and better and better. And by the end of the season, I thought he was playing like a top 3 quarterback in the SEC. So I think the situation is going to be much better.
I think improved.
And you get Cam Coleman.
Next one in line of interest, of change. Tennessee didn't go get a big name in the portal. George McIntyre, redshirt freshman, is expected to be the starter. Better than Joey Aguilar or not?
But just real quick on that, there is still a chance Aguilar gets a favorable ruling and could play. Am I right about that?
He is fighting for it, but he's trying to get an additional year.
Okay, so then you, I guess, would have a quarterback battle in that situation. I think it is going to be a slight step backwards.
Yeah, I think it's going to be backwards, too, just because Aguilar had so much experience.
Yeah.
I mean,
Franklin, Tennessee native this kid is.
Yeah, I mean, this kid might be really good, and I think statistically he's going to put numbers up. I think anybody would in Heupel's offense, but you just don't have the experience you have with Aguilar.
4-8 last year, but Lenore Sellers is back without Mike Shula for most of the season now.
That helps.
But they were 4-8 last year, so do they have the pieces around him for him to be better?
It can't be worse. I mean, the guy only completed 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions last year. I mean, it was a bad year for Sellers.
Yeah, he's got and I cannot say his name right now, the track star receiver back. They kept him.
Nick Harbor?
Nick Harbor, yeah. They kept him in the portal, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm with Lance. It's got to improve.
Got to be better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ole Miss, Trinidad Chambliss is expected to be the starter. If not, it'll be Deuce Knight battling Walker Howard, 2 former 5-star recruits. But Trinidad back.
Either way, I'm going to go step backwards. I think it will be difficult. I think Trinidad Chambliss will still be really good, but it will be difficult to match what he did this year.
Well, look, and you do lose Lane Kiffin, and for whatever that's worth, I mean, obviously
and
Lane.
Charlie Weiss.
Yeah, and Charlie Weiss. Yeah, these guys work with the quarterbacks, and going from Austin Simmons to the breakout that Trinidad was. I mean, look, if Trinidad's able to come back, I think he's going to be better, but I don't know where that ruling is. If he doesn't, it's a major drop-off.
I think Deuce Knight, big drop-off. But I even think if Chambliss comes back, it will be difficult for him to replicate what he did last year. Still really good, but I think
I agree. I mean, you look, he was the top-rated passer in the SEC, almost 4,000 passing yards. I mean, he was
spectacular.
Lights out last year.
John Mateer back at Oklahoma, obviously the projected starter. Do you like Mateer? Is he better than he was last year?
I don't like Mateer.
I thought he would be so much better than he was. So I'm going to hold out and say I think he'll be better this year, but how much better, I don't know.
You know, the smart guys tell me he doesn't read the field well. That's the knock on him, that he just doesn't read the field well.
Do we still believe he wasn't 100% after the Auburn game?
Because was that the game where he hurt the thumb?
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, I think he got back close, right, and was still throwing interceptions.
I mean, he was. They still did go to the postseason. I know that was based on defense.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, if you don't read the field well, we're in year 4 of him as a college football quarterback now. I mean, are you going to learn that? I don't. It's not a rhetorical question. It's a question I don't know the answer to.
Yeah, I don't like their play calling with Arbuckle, who came with him. It was a package deal.
And they kept him.
Missouri, Austin Simmons, the projected starter there in Missouri.
I think you've got an upgrade.
Yeah, I do too.
Over Bo Pribula?
Yeah, I was going to go step up there. Yeah. Look, I liked Austin Simmons at LSU. I mean, I guess the knock on him was he turned it over a little too much. Was that the knock on him?
Well, he got injured, and Trinidad just did such a good job.
Yeah, but before that, I mean, I think that was when people criticized Austin Simmons, he turned it over a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, he did on the season 4 touchdowns, 5 picks.
Yeah.
Camario Taylor is projected to be the starter at Mississippi State. For Jeff Lebby, he signed him in 2025. By the end of the year, he was the guy that they were rolling out there.
I thought he looked better than Chapin a lot of times. So I think Camario is actually going to be better.
My preseason quarterback of the year in the SEC, Garrett Nussmeier, no longer at LSU. Sam Levitt, better than Garrett Nussmeier.
Yeah.
But,
that's a low bar, though.
Yeah, we go back to this point last year. I think we all would have said, man, Nussmeier's going to be really good this year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like
really
you thought
good.
he was going to win the Heisman, and I'm not going to destroy you for that because I thought he was going to be excellent.
But I do think with the injuries from Sam Levitt last year, I think Sam Levitt pairing up with Lane Kiffin, I think Sam Levitt's going to be really good.
Some people may have missed this in the portal, but Kenny Minchie, one-time Notre Dame quarterback, is projected to be the starter at Kentucky with Will Stein.
It can't help but improve.
Yeah, it's got to be better.
I mean, it's the law of averages.
Cutter Boley wasn't awful last year, but I think with Will Stein coming in, the offense is going to be a lot better. So it's got to be better.
No Zachariah Branch, no Oscar Delp. They're off to the NFL, but Gunnar Stockton is back at Georgia. And this may be the recipe for Georgia getting back to the playoffs.
I mean, look, Gunnar Stockton, is this going to be like the same kind of trajectory that we had with Stetson Bennett? Like
you
everybody
say
was
that
like,
because he's a balding white guy?
Yeah, well, and look, he looks like he's already selling insurance, but everybody's like, he's just kind of a game manager. When you look at what Stockton did last year, he only turned it over 5 times, 24 touchdowns, 5 picks. I thought he was really good. A lot of those were short, kind of easy passes to Zachariah.
Yeah, I think I don't have the number in front of me, but I remember somebody gave us the number, and it might have been you, Jim, was the completions 20-plus yards down the field, and there were none. Like, you were like, wow, they just do not throw the ball down the field at all.
They just don't have those receivers, though. Zachariah he set a Georgia record for receptions in a year, but it was so much underneath stuff. I mean, I can't remember the last dominant receiver they had. It was George Pickens, but he didn't play.
Exactly. This is the biggest gamble and, to me, the biggest unknown. Florida, Aaron Philo, the redshirt sophomore from Georgia Tech, with his OC Buster Faulkner now in Gainesville. That seemed to be an offense that was all on Haynes King. Aaron Philo.
Philo, when he played over the last couple of years, I thought he was pretty good, but it was a downgrade, obviously, behind what Haynes King gave you. And I just didn't understand DJ Lagway. I thought Lagway was going to be really good.
The easiest answer on the board is Byron Brown at Auburn.
It's Kentucky. I mean, I hate to say that for Auburn, but Auburn fans, I think, have to agree with me. It's like Kentucky. Like, there is nowhere to go but up from where Auburn's quarterback
we got sold Bill Agudo and Peyton Thorne a couple of years ago with Hugh Freeze. Then again with Jackson Arnold, how good he was going to be. This has got to be the year that Auburn really gets good production from their quarterback, even with Golish it being year one.
The best quarterback they've had since Bo Nix, which, doesn't seem like that long ago, but it really is. And it feels like dog years for Auburn fans, I'm sure.
KJ Jackson's the projected starter at Arkansas, replacing Talon Green.
I liked Talon Green, and, I continued to say he's good enough to beat somebody that they're not supposed to. They never got to do that last year.
Talon turned it over too much. His defense was awful, though.
Yeah, it was not on him.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I will say a step backwards.
A.J. Hill came to Arkansas with Silverfield from Memphis. He was a big recruit from Memphis, but is yet to see the field. That could be an interesting competition. And then that gets you to Alabama, and Keelan Russell is the projected starter over Austin Mack by the folks at ESPN. Ty Simpson gone, Keelan Russell. Why is it just too much Alabama in me that maybe the quarterback play could be a little bit better?
My gosh, if it's better, you've got one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the league. I mean, that's what Ty Simpson was last year. Statistically, Ty Simpson threw for over 3,500 yards, completed 65% of his passes, 28 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. I mean, if it gets better than that, I mean, you've got one of the best quarterback situations in college football. I mean, again, Ty is going to be a first-round guy this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think Keelan Russell will put up good numbers. I don't know that they're better than that. I mean, to Lance's point, how much yards? How close was he? I mean, he was only
the second most passing yards in the SEC.
Yeah, 370 yards behind Trinidad Chambliss. Now, Chambliss didn't even play from the jump, so Chambliss, those numbers are a little.
But the Alabama in you, would you mind it being more around 3,000 passing yards, and Alabama runs the football much more effectively?
Yeah, I don't know if it'll ever be that again, but that would make it more comfortable to watch. I should note that Austin Mack did beat out Keelan Russell last year, and so we're projecting, or ESPN's projecting Russell to win the battle this year, though Mack is yet to lose a battle to him.
Yeah, I mean, Mack came back for a reason.
Yeah. So Ty Simpson rushed it 90 times for 93 yards. That is and the reason I bring this up is not saying I think Russell's more mobile. I think Simpson was underrated mobile. Simpson took a ton of sacks. So,
which is negative yards in college
football. It's kind of a dumb rule in college football, but it is what it is.
Well, there were only 3 quarterbacks in the SEC that took more sacks.
Yeah.
Lenore Sellers, Blake Shapen, and Jackson Arnold.
So if Keelan Russell can be better than 90 carries, 93 yards, which I think he can, there is one area, total yards is where you might get a slight improvement. I don't know that you're going to get an improvement in passing yards.
Yeah. Interesting from ESPN. They've got projected starters for all of the Power 4 teams and Notre Dame, if you want to go check that out at ESPN.com. One more thing to get to in this segment before we get Bucky McMillan coming up in the next segment. Show brought to you today by our friends at Hemp Hill. Tell us about Hemp Hill.
Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, cooling. Any of these issues arise in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys. They are hard to stop at train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
I don't know why this doesn't excite me, but they've moved the Florida State game to Black Friday.
So we've already got the Egg Bowl there, right?
Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Florida State, which comes in a ABC ESPN package with the ACC.
It doesn't excite you because those programs haven't been good.
Yeah, that's the reason. Yeah. I can't remember the last time I've watched that game, honestly.
And then there was a little quirk that nobody paid attention to in the fine print that everyone was talking about yesterday. But the group of 6 now, with the Pac-12 back, their birth into the college ball playoffs, a new version of it, it doesn't have to be their conference champion. So I'll use, for instance, if Boise State's unbeaten if they've beaten Oregon in their out-of-conference game and they're unbeaten, playing in the new Pac-12 championship game, and they lose that game and they're not Pac-12 champion, they can still be in there.
So it's the highest rated?
It's the highest ranked group of 6 team. Does not have to be
Best way to
conference
do it.
champion.
Best way to do it.
It is the best way to do it. Now, can you imagine the steam that is going to be lost on a Boise team that would be coming into the college football playoff after losing their conference championship game?
But you could see them 12-0, Boise State, having upset Oregon early in the year. Not that I'm betting on that happening. I'm just saying in this scenario. And then they drop a conference championship game, we'll say, to Jamarcus Shepard, Oregon State, or Washington State in that league. And now they're dropped from number 9 to 17 in the rankings.
But this is the way to do it because Tulane, help me remember, who did they beat in their conference championship? Was it Memphis? I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Had they lost
North Texas.
Was it North Texas?
I think so.
Had they lost that game, I think we all still believe Tulane was the best Group 5 team. Group 6, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I don't know if I do or not.
You don't?
If they lost that,
you would have thought James Madison was better just on that one loss?
No, I think I would have gone North Texas or
them?
Memphis, whoever was the team that was going to beat them.
Yeah, how about we figure out if we really think they're good enough to be in a college football playoff, and if they're not,
I agree with you on that. I don't care if they're conference champion or not.
And then one move has happened in the court case for Charles Bediako. The Judge Brownie has made a decision today about whether or not to recuse himself.
And he has decided to do just that. And the judge has recused himself from this case. You know, as I mentioned to Clay, Bediako side was like, yeah, we're cool with that. Which, you know, from a novice point of view, I'm like, that shows that they feel like they got a good case. They don't need, you know, what is being labeled as a homer judge. Clay kind of put, you know, cold water on that. But neither side had an issue with this. So the judge has, in fact, recused himself from this case.
So that's the next step. And keep in mind, the Diego Pavia case, through 2 years, never really has a ruling yet, right? They're still battling that in court for 2 years.
Yeah.
So he played 2 years without there ever being a ruling. He had a temporary restraining order, an injunction that went his way until there was a hearing. He could keep playing. So Bediako runs out of the clock.
That was Clay's point. Yeah.
In April. Well, for Clay, I don't think, as a Tennessee fan, I don't know if he knows he can play basketball in April. But through the first weekend of April, they played basketball season. And
yeah, I mean, don't you assume he's just going to be playing the rest of the way out?
Yeah, you just try to push this down the road until April, and then whatever they rule, they rule.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the document here. He has recused himself from the case. They say another court date has been set, I believe. This is from Fox 6. Has not been set. A new hearing date has not been set. So that was Clay's point. Like, you just keep dragging this thing out, and I get to the end of my eligibility. I don't really care how this turns out. I got what I wanted out of it was to get back to college basketball.
Right. He gets his check.
Yeah. So no hearing date has been set, but Jim Roberts, the judge, has recused himself.
Bama wins last night with Charles Bediako going 14.6 rebounds, 90-64 over Missouri. Auburn in action tonight as they take on the Texas Longhorns down at Neville, 6 o'clock on ESPN2 and the Auburn Radio Network, if you want to listen to it on radio. Meanwhile, Texas A&M with a midweek bye, number 1 in the Southeastern Conference. We'll talk to Bucky McMillan coming up on the other side. The show brought to you by Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg from Pell City, his wife Andrea, they own the company. It's been locally owned for over 20 years. And listen, they're parents of a huge family, so they understand about crunching numbers financially. They've got great financing options if you need that. They work great with insurance providers to help you get the maximum amount of money from your insurance company when it comes to storm damage repairs, roof replacements. And they've got this soft wash program now to where you don't need a new roof. Maybe it just needs to be cleaned to where it looks like a new roof. That helps you just with your own love of your house, but also if you're putting it on the market here in 2026. Call this number, 205-542-3531, or go online to Storm Restoration Roofing to get more details about roof replacement, storm damage repair, and that soft wash program with great financing options available. And you get a free no-cost roof inspection as well. 205-542-3531, or Greg from Pell City on Facebook.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
We interrupt this program for breaking news from the Gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
It's the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels, January 30th through February 1st at the BJCC. With customs, classics, hot rods, and more. Don't miss the Golden Riders motorcycle stunt team, plus BMX stunt teams performing outrageous stunts live. Friday, meet WWE star Rikishi. Saturday is Kevin Mack from Counts Customs. And Sunday, meet TV host Courtney Hansen. Bring the kids for free Hot Wheels racing, costume characters, rides, and more. Get discount tickets at all O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Details at worldofwheels.net.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
It's bow time.
The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time. It's bow time.
The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time.
I told you about the basketball last night in the SEC that included Alabama's win, but also Vandy pounding Kentucky and Arkansas surviving Oklahoma. Texas and Auburn, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina tonight. You know what all those teams have in common?
What is that, Jim?
They're all looking up the SEC standings at the former Mountain Brook High School coach, who I didn't know whether or not he could coach in the SEC or not.
Wow, Dunaway doubted you, Bucky McMillan. Can you believe Dunaway doubted you?
Get in line. Get in line.
So tell me, man, when you sat down to put a roster together, you were sort of late in the process, and you have to build a team. How did you find this group of Aggies, and how difficult was it to sit down and start picking and choosing the people that were going to make up your first Texas A&M team? How did that go? How was that process?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, hey, guys, man, appreciate y'all having me. Miss seeing you guys.
Well, I appreciate you remembering who we are now that you're the talk the talk of college basketball.
You didn't get too big for our show, and we'll always remember that, Bucky.
Yeah.
Hey, anybody that's going to have me on the show when we were playing Shades Valley High School and non-SEC schools back when I was coaching high school basketball, man, I'm never going to forget that. So
Kirby Smart said the same thing until he won his first national championship.
Well, no, spring was very interesting because we were the last Power 5 job that was hired. Excuse me, I'm going to plug this charger in.
No problem.
We're the last Power 5 job hired. We're there April, I think I got to College Station April the 7th or 8th. And if you remember, this season was so interesting in the portal because everybody thought the judge was going to sign that order on April the 7th. Basically, everyone thought to get the maximum NIL value that you needed to go and decide where you were going before April the 7th. And so this year in the portal, everybody went early so that they wouldn't be limited on just money coming from the school, that you could have got the NIL money that they were getting the past 2 years. And so we got here, and then an article comes out like 4 or 5 days later that says 81 of the top 100 portal players have already committed. And we got here, and we had 0 players on the roster. We had 1 player who was a walk-on on the team last year. And so we're sitting there, that article comes out, like, who the heck? What are we going to do here? And anyway, we don't have a staff. We're getting a staff together. We're trying to put a roster together. And we're battling for obviously the other 19 of the top 100 portal players, and then whoever else is out there. But I thought our staff did a great job of getting not what was left, but getting good players. Don't want to negate that. We found some very good players, and sure, at the time we just had to take guys who were good. Not necessarily did we know if they fit the system, but some of these guys fit it better than they get credit for, and they've grown into how we play. And here we are, just trying to fight our way through the SEC to get to the NCAA tournament.
And part of that fallout is you have the smallest team in the Power 5 right now. What are advantages to maybe being the smallest team?
Well, we can shoot. That's for sure. We can shoot. We do have skill. We lost our best, our highest player on the draft board. We had a guy who's a projected, maybe first rounder, Mackenzie Mbako, who broke his foot earlier in the season, came back, and then re-injured the situation. He was a force. He's a 6'9", 6'8", 6'9" kid for us. Now, since we lost him, we've been really small. In a lot of scenarios, but we've been playing to that strength, been trying to make it a full court game, and spreading the floor with shooters. And be it me and Nate, Oates at Alabama were talking the other night, and something we've always believed in. If it comes between having skill or having size, give me skill. Give me skill. But because you got to have skill to win at this level, and we're playing our skilled players and living with it.
Funny you were talking to Nate Oates. I was like, if you need a 6'9" guy, there's probably a G League you could go look at maybe to try to grab somebody. Don't comment. I'm just throwing it out for humor.
Rylan,
yeah, we got to play those guys in a week. So I'm not going to say anything.
Rylan Griffin, one of your players, Alabama fans know him well, obviously. Let something out of the bag in a postgame that had to make you smile when he said that Josh Hubbard of Mississippi State said, "Are y'all ever going to stop pressing?" As a coach, that's your style. You've got to love to hear an opponent ask one of your players that question, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's just how we've always played. I think that, people had asked me coming into the SEC, how are y'all going to play? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we play how we always played. Like, any style can work, guys. It doesn't matter what it is. Football, someone could come along right now and run the option and look like Nebraska back in the day and win in football. People can run, hurry up, no huddle. In basketball, they can jam it inside like you're seeing some teams do, like a Purdue used to, and some teams can shoot 1,000,000 threes. But I'll tell you one thing, the head coach better believe in what you're doing. And for us, we've just always played the way that we play a full court game. We do pick up full, and something I'm comfortable with, something I believe in. And therefore, obviously, if you believe in it as a head coach, your team's going to believe in it.
So what does off-season conditioning look like? I mean, you only had a few months to put this thing together, but you've got 11 guys that are averaging double-digit minutes.
Yeah, I think it was interesting because we didn't have our team in the summer. We only had about 5 or 6 guys most of the summer. So it was really an interesting deal because we got here late, got guys in here late. I think we lost 2 of our first 4 games. And I don't think we were in shape yet. I really don't. We weren't shooting the ball well. I think that we were trying to play hard. We weren't playing as hard as we needed to. We weren't in the shape to win. And after that, I think our last loss of the first 4 games was to Central Florida. Y'all could look at the date. It was like November 10th or 15th or something.
November 14th.
So November 14th. And since then, we have lost 2 games, one in double overtime at Tennessee and one on a neutral site in overtime versus SMU as a projected tournament team. So since November 14th, we hadn't been trailing at the end of regulation. And I think a lot of that had to do with we finally got in shape, the shape that I wish we were in game 1. Because as you know, everyone comes from different systems or whatnot. And in ours, you got to be in a certain type of shape to play the defense we play, but then on the other end, have the stamina to be able to make shots. And we finally got to that point.
Other than not having an Odie's, tell me one thing that's different about where you live now than Mountain Brook.
Well, I think that out here in College Station, everything is about the Aggies.
Yes.
Right? And if you're winning, that's good. If you're not winning, it's not good. But obviously in Birmingham, there's a lot going on. It's a sports town. You got the Tide, you got UAB, you got the Tigers, you got a lot going on. In College Station, it is all about the Aggies. And that's a pretty fun thing to be around.
I didn't. So we all have known you forever, Bucky, but none of us, I don't think, knew Bucky until he was the Mountain Brook coach. I didn't know Bucky when he was playing at Birmingham Southern.
I did through Frank Bromberg.
Oh yeah, Frank. But Mark Godfrey told us a story on the show yesterday. I did not know about you, that when Birmingham Southern dropped basketball, he tried to get you to come play in Tuscaloosa. And instead, you chose to go be an assistant coach at Mountain Brook. I did not know that about you. How difficult the decision was that? Did Mark overplay that a little bit? I mean, did you really have to tell him no to go be an assistant coach at a high school program?
Yeah, it was really strange. So I would have been like the first transfer portal kid. I played for Dwayne Reball. The program switched because of the circumstances at the school. It was my junior year. I had my last year eligibility. And had an opportunity to go play a lot of places. And I playing like 30-something minutes a game, and I would have been like Ron Steele's backup point guard at Alabama. It's a good spot to be, and me and Ron are actually good friends to this day. Something about it though, I was coaching while I was playing college basketball. I was coaching high-level AAU, and I just kind of like, all right, do I want to do this last year, kind of like a one-year thing? Or do I want to start coaching? And I remember everyone was like, you should go play, definitely go play. And I was really close to going. And my mom was like, Bucky, this may be your chance, And she wasn't talking about Alabama. She was saying to be the JV coach at Mountain Brook. This could be your chance to get in the coaching role. Yeah. And so I did that. But one thing that you don't understand, for me, to play Division I basketball and to make it and to finally become a starter, I had to work so much harder than everybody else has ever played the game of basketball because I was so unathletic. So for me, my 22-year-old body felt like a 70-year-old body at that age. So it was about time for me to get into coaching when I did it. And it's funny how life works. That Mark Cornelius left to go take another job. I was right there, became the head varsity coach, and then the rest is history. Right there to Sanford, then Sanford A&M.
So Dunaway was somewhat joking when he brought you on about doubting like the success at this level, and it has happened fast. You guys sitting at 6-1 in year 1, but do you keep receipts on people that really doubted you, or are you to a point in life right now where you just don't really care?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Like, I mean, that's I think everybody at some point, it's about your belief in yourself, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to. If you you hear people that say they keep receipts. Well, people that keep receipts, they care what other people think about them. And that's just not the best way probably to live. Like, I mean, that can detract you from what you're trying to do. And so I think that I have a belief in myself, obviously, like we all do. And the belief comes from one thing, that I feel like I'm going to outwork everybody. And that's just the way that you're going to have success anyway. Y'all wouldn't be sitting where y'all are if y'all didn't work extremely hard to be where y'all are, right? And so my deal has got to be just to focus on continuing to work hard, and our team obviously working as hard as we can to get through this league. That's an incredibly tough league.
Listen, I don't think I'd be shocked if I started looking the logs of Tex Aggies United there to see a donation from Frank Bromberg. But in all seriousness, with a little bit of momentum now on the court, can you feel the boosters behind you? I know they were behind you when they hired you, but can you feel the groundswell of support from not just the fans and the students, but from those big oil guys that we hear about here in Alabama all the time? Do you see people walking up to you, patting you on the back, and man, that guy's got a wallet?
Well, we got some great support here, and I'll say this: when we got here, we were in a tough spot, as we mentioned, with no roster. And being real, I'm not, Buzz Williams, he got out of here. We had to rally the troops quickly, because in this day and age of college athletics, to build a roster, you got to, have the resources to do it.
Right.
And so I remember I got here the very next day. We had a meeting with all the boosters. Like, guys, look, if we don't rally together, I'm not talking about we're not going to win an SEC game. We're not going to have a team. We're literally not going to have a team. And that was a great part, is that people at the onset, and the question was, well, is it worth it right now to even spend money on a team, or should we be saving it for next year? And I said, guys, if we go 0-30, it's not going to matter about next year. We're going to have all the money in the world. It's going to be hard to get somebody to convince them to come to Texas A&M. And so what I really appreciated was the people before we started winning that supported the program, that we could even have a functioning team that can have a chance this year to compete in this league, which is the toughest league in college basketball.
That's a great answer and a great story, man. That's awesome.
Speaking of which, midweek bye, next 3 at Georgia, at Alabama, and host Florida. That's just a 3-game stretch in the SEC. It's always tough.
You know what they call that, Bucky? They call that resume builders right there.
Yeah, little tougher than at Vestavia, back home versus Homewood, and at Gardendale, right?
little bit,
with no shot clock.
I know.
Bucky, thank you. We appreciate you making time for us. Always good to catch up with you.
All right, boys.
All right.
Gig 'em.
Gig 'em. We'll see you soon. That is Bucky McMillan, the head basketball coach at Texas A&M, with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Isn't that crazy? Bucky had to coach with no shot clock back in the day. So if you rolled into a place like Vestavia and you were the athletic team that could get up and down the floor, they'd spread it out on you, man. Milk that clock.
That's right.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to say that I believe this would, immediately work.
Oh, there's not, whether Bucky was going to work or not. With this team this year,
yeah.
I forgot when we did the story. Like, there were 0 players, and we were like,
how's he going to do this?
There's 0 players.
And he's way late in the portal.
But you guys, we've been doing a show long enough together that, when Alabama was struggling, it was like, there was a contingent, hey, give Bucky a shot. And a lot of times people thought that was laughable.
Oh, I did, Lance. I laughed at that. Yeah, I laughed at that. I mean, like, when people would call us on jocks during the Anthony Grant era, and when Bucky was killing it at Mountain Brook, they're like, oh, you need to go hire Bucky McMillan. I'm like, okay, get off the phone lines. That's insane. You're not going to go hire that coach at Mountain Brook.
But I think once he got to Sanford and you saw it at that level.
That's what Mark said yesterday.
And then you started, you can't deny this.
Yeah, that's what Godfrey said. He goes, one questionable caller to beat Kansas in the first round.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're like, this can work.
That style, if your players will buy in, though, is it can level the ground. I mean, to hear a player,
it's a version of the 40 minutes of hell from Nolan Richards.
And imagine when you start getting guys like Lee Mayberry and Todd Day.
Yeah.
Trash in just a second after LT tells you about our friends at Odie's, where these guys are out tonight. for trivia.
Odie's Team Trivia every Wednesday night. Get started a little after 8 o'clock. Get there early. Enjoy some of the great food Rodney Davis has been doing for almost 4 decades now. The wings, the burgers, delicious sandwiches like that Diablo sandwich, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Get in, see Will Ever and that great staff. 2 locations, the newest in Edgewood, original location in Crestline, where Odie's Team Trivia is every Wednesday night. It's a Birmingham institution. It's Odie's Tavern.
We will foul the living shit out of you. We'll foul a three-point shooter. We'll foul at the end of the clock. We'll leave our feet on drives. We'll reach. You describe the foul, and the team that I'm coaching will commit it.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
That's so good.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our friends at Bud Light. We start first with Dunaway's favorite, Sydney Sweeney. Now, she snuck up an L.A. mountain a few days ago, climbed the iconic Hollywood sign, and laced it with bras, and she may have gotten in trouble with the law now.
Oh, no.
It's a publicity stunt. She's got her new lingerie out, right?
TMZ obtained video of the star scaling what appears to be the H with a handful of bras. Production team is filming Sydney. She makes her way up the cloak of darkness. Sydney and her crew made their way to the top of the letters, strung a clothesline of bras. Sweeney is gleeful as she surveys her handiwork. Now, as TMZ reported, this is about the launch of her new lingerie line. Jeff Bezos is an investor. So they're saying it's well-funded for sure.
Yeah, can't fail if Bezos isn't. But don't you believe?
Whoa.
Don't you believe?
I mean, that campaign's probably going to help it.
Yeah, it ain't going to hurt. Yeah.
Don't you believe that that this is a publicity stunt for that?
Oh, 100%.
Like the city of Hollywood knew it was happening.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
They helped.
Yeah.
Tyler,
they have a permit for this,
That's
probably.
right, yeah.
So the Chamber of Commerce put out a statement saying that she did not ask for permission.
They're in on it.
Yeah.
They're in on it.
So
Nice donation to
when
this.
you go to the theater, do you ever see this?
That lingerie, by the way.
No, I don't.
You're saying, Jim, you'd buy that?
I'm just saying that lingerie must be really good to make her look good.
Now, when Kiffin said get your popcorn ready, is that what he meant?
I would say.
Yes. It's hard to make the popcorn all hit in the mouth. I know that.
Yeah.
You spill it everywhere.
Yeah, it really does.
I don't know that my goodness, Tyler.
These are all ads. You can get them in your
But
back in the day, your Sears
this
robot.
is the one that's not attractive, right?
LT, she's got a lot of. This is photoshopped, well made up, and those things are corralled right now.
Corralled. You
open
gotta
it-
corral them, man.
You open the gate and let them run free, and take that makeup off, and she's just an average girl down at where do I get the great drink on the strip at Tuscaloosa? Galette's.
Galette's.
She's just an average Galette's girl.
I'll be at Galette's tonight. What are you talking about? They are not down there.
Tyler said I can't get to
if you
Galette's fast
Photoshop them and do the makeup, Tyler, you can find 16 of those.
I
at
thought
Galette's tonight.
it was comical, though. I went down to the Washington bookstore. I just wanted to go down to campus, check it out. And watching the students walk around, it is night and day from an SEC campus.
Oh, Southern girls.
Yeah. On my Instagram, I
Always
forget who
better.
did the rankings, but they did the hottest girls in college.
I saw that. You see who number one was?
Number one was Alabama.
Yeah.
Auburn was 11th.
Yeah.
They made the top 15. But
Washington 871.
I didn't notice Washington there on
Well,
the
You're not going to see it.
If you and this is, I don't think this is subjective. I think this is objective. You travel the United States, there is zero doubt Southern women are the best looking women. Yeah. No doubt about it. Yeah. Just travel the United States and look with just a critical eye. Southern women are the best looking women. Period. End of sentence.
It's thanks to, first off, us, the better looking guys.
Right. We got good DNA.
And the
weather,
being outside.
The weather, you get out in the sun. Yeah. You know. I mean, those Washington students, when do they ever see the sun?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, there you are. You see a Washington woman in her 50s. Whew.
Yeah. Well, she never sees the sun.
Ryan, I would add that good-looking women outside the South want to move to the South,
That's
too.
right, yes.
Look
I
at all the
agree with
out-of-state students that come down
I
south.
know.
My wife is from New Jersey.
That's right.
Has never gone back.
Yeah.
Brown did not mean to offend your wife.
I did not mean to. No. She's one of the good ones.
The Dame Yankee. That's what we call them. They don't go back.
No, she's so attractive. I really thought she was from the South.
That's right.
You
I'm
could have told me
surprised.
she was from Tupelo, Mississippi. I'd have believed you.
Surprised to know she's from New Jersey.
Where do you think Sydney Sweeney's from?
Not the South, but there are exceptions to every rule. I'm just saying volume.
I don't know where she's from.
I don't think she's from the South. I'm going volume. The South undefeated. In fact, I would say
Spokane, Washington.
Yeah, there you go. Washington.
Would not have guessed that.
That is shocking.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. It's some of the roughest people I've ever seen in my life.
Spokane, Washington. It's
But,
makeup, man. It's all makeup.
You know, she does work on her pickup truck by herself when she's not filming. So she's Southern at heart.
I find that hard to believe, but okay. Florida teenager has been arrested after authorities say she struck her mother with a pork chop during a domestic dispute. Now, the incident occurred January 22nd when a deputy responded to the residents following reports of verbal argument between a teenager and her mother. Investigators identified the teen as 18-year-old Farrah Kernan. Now, the report states that Kernan had been drinking alcohol earlier in the day before the argument escalated inside of the home. According to the filing, Kernan's mother, Cynthia, told the responding deputy that her daughter struck her in the face with her right hand. She also said a friend who was present at the residence recorded video of the moment, which he later provided to authorities. Deputy wrote in the video that clearly shows that Farrah struck Cynthia in the face with her right hand, causing Cynthia to recoil backwards. They noted the clip ended immediately after the strike. Cynthia also told investigators that before the video was recorded, her daughter had thrown a pork chop at her.
Long-standing stance I have here on trash. Food should never be used as a weapon. We got things that are made for weapons. Food is not one of them. Never. There's no excuse for using food as a weapon.
And you should never serve pork without some kind of apple flavoring side to go with it.
Yeah.
Whether it's apples and sweet potatoes, some type of
like
spicy applesauce.
Pork chop
and apple.
in bulk doesn't really look good, right?
No.
There is there's a place I had it Saturday night. Best pork chop I've ever had is here in town, and they've got a little apple flavor in there.
Oakhouse?
Yes, Oakhouse.
Say Oakhouse, yeah. They've got also a sweet potato apple side.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's under there. The sweet potato apple. They build a bed and they put that pork chop on it. It is the best pork chop I've ever had in my life. It's fantastic.
Got a $200 gift card just waiting on me.
Go get that pork chop, Jim.
Yeah.
Go.
A Canadian man has been accused of pulling a stunt straight out of Catch Me If You Can, allegedly posing as an airline crew to score hundreds of free flights over several years. Now, according to a report from the BBC, U.S. prosecutors say that Dallas Porkornik repeatedly impersonated both a pilot and a flight attendant, allowing him access heavily discounted or free standby travel reserved for airline staff. Now, court filings state that Porkornik previously worked as a flight attendant for a Toronto-based airline between 2017 and 2019. After leaving the job, he's accused of continuing to use fraudulent employee credentials from that carrier to book flights on 3 separate U.S. airlines by using a fake badge. Now, the documents do not explain how the invalid identification was able to pass airline verification checks despite the industry's heavy focus on security. Passenger airlines commonly allow their own staff and sometimes employ partner carriers to travel for free or at steep discounts when seats are available. Now, these benefits are intended to help crew members move between assignments, but also can be used for personal travel. In some cases, off-duty pilots are allowed to sit in the cockpit or cabin jump seats, though regulations prohibit using cockpit jump seats for leisure. Now, prosecutors allege that Porkornik went as far as requesting access to a cockpit jump seat despite not being a licensed pilot or holding an airman's certificate. Wow. If convicted, could face 20 years in prison along with a fine as much as $250,000.
We've lost a pilot and a co-pilot. John, jump up there. I'm not really a pilot.
Yeah, I gotta fess up.
That would be a bad situation.
It would be, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd like a guy up there that knows what he's doing.
They both had to fish, and he had to jump up there. That's trash. Nope.
Got one more. And this is one we've been waiting to come down.
Boy.
A wayward Waymo wildly crashed into several parked cars while careening downhill in Echo Park, narrowly mowing down 2 bystanders, according to this video.
It's up its grass.
I mean,
oh my gosh.
That's Echo Park now.
Yeah, now you tell me if somebody is clipped and died, what kind of liability?
You own the whole thing.
I mean, is Waymo done?
No, yeah, you own it or it's done, one of the two.
Now, the Sunday morning smash-up happened around 11 a.m. right outside of Dodger Stadium, where doorbell cam, as you see here, showing the vehicle being driven manually, speeding down the steep, narrow street, side-swiping several cars.
Driven manually.
Yeah, wait a
It's
minute now.
Keyword there.
So somebody took over the wheel?
Somebody was behind the wheel.
Oh, so somebody stole this thing. Okay. So this is not really on Waymo.
They were doing like a maintenance test.
What do you get?
So no riders were inside of the Waymo at the time of the crash. Car was being driven manually by a specialist, the company told KTLA.
I don't think so, Lance.
He was not injured.
Based on this video.
But why do you have somebody driving this thing at all?
I think he used to work for Waymo. Now he's using his old credentials to get free rides in Waymo. Yeah, that's what happened. Connect the two stories together.
I mean, were they battling over the steering wheel, the Waymo behind it, the AI behind it, and him?
I don't know, but that is, I mean, you're right. He's moving at a pretty good clip right there.
I would say maybe it's like testing for like the parameters of how far the car can go.
Was he driving it remotely? Like, was he on like a video game screen driving it, or was he actually in the car?
That's a good point. Morgan in the chat room says he was driving it via Xbox controller remotely. So maybe he was.
Oh, okay. So yeah, just because it was manually controlled doesn't mean he was behind the wheel.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
Can't believe we're having to have this discussion.
So I think the problem.
I don't know. It kind of looked like there was somebody in
the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't believe the story if nobody's in the driver's seat. Because I would probably try to pin this on an employee that he was using a remote, because this would never happen to our AI.
He kills that birdhouse.
I think it was a sign.
No, I'm with Tyler. I think there is somebody in the driver's seat.
Well, I didn't know we were going to break it down like it was the '63 assassination attempt. I mean,
it's a Bruder film.
I just was making a point. It looked like he was driving it from his couch.
I mean, this is where it starts. We had one on the tracks.
That's
we
right.
had the food deliver cooler got blown up on the tracks.
And then the Chinese ones that
Chinese ones,
drive
right.
wherever.
And now this one.
That is Trash Today, brought to you in part by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision, bringing you part of the show today.
Yeah, 205-969-8100, the number I called way back in 2003. Dr. Mort Michelson, the first to perform the laser procedure in the state of Alabama in 1995. Make the phone call that I made. Ask for Amy Toe, the next round Cynthia. She is going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Later on today, a new Bama and Bourbon will be out. Aaron and LT are about to talk with each other about Alabama athletics. The Tide with a big dominating win over Missouri. Now they go play Florida on the road in Gainesville. Auburn in action tonight. We'll have post-game reaction from Auburn. Hopefully a win over stingy Texas as they battle tonight at Neville Arena. Champy's Chicken bringing you this final hour of the show as well. Sterling and the crew ready and open for lunch right now. Good to go. And don't forget the happy hour. Always a great place there. And if you're looking for dessert with a wife or for another man, if you're friends or
men eat dessert too.
Men eat dessert too. You can go with the caramel cake and a lot more right there at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.